Get nasty on a Friday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. 2 o'clock, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. The Boston Red Sox are in town tonight to take on the Cardinals. The first Beer Friday at Busch Stadium. Marsh, you're going. You've got your giveaway jersey on. Look at you.
Oh, he's got his Willie McGee jersey on.
I like that.
I certainly do. I'm ready for a winner. A Redbird winner.
All right. Wow.
I like that.
I like your attitude.
Thank you.
So, of course, Tyler O'Neill is also back in town.
Who?
Tyler O'Neill.
Is he any good?
He's pretty damn good for the Red Sox.
He was really good for a year.
Okay.
For the Cardinals. He has been very good for the Red Sox thus far. He has cooled off a little bit, but he is still one of their best players.
Okay.
And as we've talked about with these Cardinals and with their former players, they tend to go on someplace else and have success. And we can kind of look at each individual case, and you can almost, and maybe we do this at some point. Do you guys remember there was a show, I can't remember if it was if it was ESPN2 or one of the other networks, but they used to run this series where they talk about you can't blame and then they give a scenario. So, for example, you can't blame the Falcons for trading Brett Favre. And then they would break down all the reasons why they traded him. Or you can't blame the Seahawks for not handing the ball to Marshawn Lynch, and then they do. I know, but it's kind of a fun way to spin a very lopsided argument, right? You can actually look at this and say, you can't blame the Cardinals for trading Tyler O'Neill. He wasn't durable. He clashed with, obviously, Ali, and as we know, there was veterans within that clubhouse that also applauded Ali when he talked to Tyler O'Neill in spring training and then made the public comments following that game in April last year. There was veterans that said, thank you for holding him accountable. So the narrative is
Which always made me laugh, too, by the way.
With the
veterans saying thank you.
Yeah, why don't you just go do it? Yep,
just
I agree.
saying.
Yeah,
They had trouble with leadership.
They needed Matt Carpenter there to help.
I don't know if you heard that news.
I know. Early for this. I'm sorry.
That's a separate conversation, I think. But your point is well made. Why do you guys think the Tyler O'Neill era ultimately failed, though?
Well, for me, flat out, it was injuries. Inconsistency in the lineup. And that's it. Because when you talk about talent, just flat out talent, Tyler O'Neill's like an MVP. Honestly, he runs in the top 5 percentile of all of Major League Baseball with his speed. He's a Gold Glove defender, and he's got power to burn. I mean, what else do you need?
Skill sets there. Yeah.
He's pretty much a 5-tool player. But that's no good when the tools are on the bench or in the press box.
Right. I don't appreciate you calling him that, but I agree with you, essentially.
Well, do you?
I think the Cardinals knew what they had. I think they knew they had somebody that had loads of power, that had speed, that could play all 3 outfield positions. He wanted to play center field in spring training last year to get ready for the World Baseball Classic. They obliged. They had no problem with that. But he couldn't stay healthy.
No.
And at some point, you have to believe a player with what they're with what they're showing you. And I even said at the time when they traded him, CD, I said, watch, he's probably going to get on a stretch. I didn't think it was right away. But he's
first game of the season.
First like 7 games of the year. You knew he was going to get on a stretch where he showcased the power. I'd be interested to see when we look back, not only this season, but however long he's in Boston, if he winds up being a reliable piece. Because he wasn't here in St. Louis.
Well, he's already been injured once, and
that wasn't his fault.
Well, whether it's his fault or not, he found his way onto the shelf.
Well, that was a different type of injury. Normally, he was getting like hamstrings and backs or knees. He ran into somebody and had to get stitches in his face. Yeah. He's not a hockey player, Jamie. I mean, these guys don't
Which is
just
surprising
keep playing.
because he is a Canadian guy.
He is a Canadian, but he didn't choose to play
stitch up
hockey.
and come right back out.
He should. I mean, that's what you do. But
that seemed to work out for him.
He's playing well. I mean, he's still doing well. He's top 10 in OPS in Major League Baseball. It is interesting to see guys leave here and have success. But again, for me, it was solely the injuries that just kept mounting up for him year after year, where he was unable to stay healthy, unable to play stretches of a season, and really show his ability. And now, hats off to him. I think sometimes you just have to tip your cap to people and say, good job, man, I wish the best for you. I hope the best for you. And right now, he's playing really well for a team that is coming in here, and he's going to have expectations to try to show the St. Louis Cardinals what they were missing.
So in hindsight, though, now, knowing what we know about what the Cardinals are struggling with and seeing Tyler O'Neill have the success that he's having, should the Cardinals have picked up his last ARB year? Because I think he's going to be a free agent next year.
I say no.
I mean,
I say no.
What do you want to look at?
I said in hindsight.
If you want to look at the production, he would be the Cardinals' best hitter.
He wouldn't be having that success here, though.
That's where I'm at.
My mind will not allow me.
And why?
Because he never did. He didn't. He had it 1 year, but he didn't have enough sustained success year after year because he was often injured. So, again, I don't know if it was something that he did differently when he got to Boston. Maybe the air, the water, I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. But now he's healthy and having success. We've seen that. But I don't think the Cardinals could wait on him to show you that he had that capability. He showed it a little bit last year when he came off the IL. You were like, okay, this is the person that we thought he was going to be. And at that time, I thought, man, you should probably trade him right now because this value is at this highest.
Yeah.
You didn't. You let the season go through, and then you decided at the end of the year that it was time to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Hindsight being 2020, Jamie, I still think they made the right decision. As frustrating as it is to see some of the performances we've seen from these Cardinal hitters, I just can't believe, I can't force myself to believe he would be having that success here in a Cardinal uniform.
All right.
There is something to that, right? The unexplainable, because that is the unexplainable.
I don't know how to put that into words. I don't know what that is.
Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of Cardinals fans would say to you and I right now, when I say the unexplainable, or you say I don't know what that is, a lot of people would say it's the Cardinals' lack of developing. But this was also a player that was at the big league level for a while. It's not like he is developed. So is he just staying healthy right now? He's got 34 games under his belt, 143 plate appearances. When the guy is healthy, he's played pretty well. But maybe there was also, I don't know, expectations. Maybe he put a lot of pressure on himself to be the dude, and he goes out to Boston, and the expectations for Boston coming into the year weren't that high. There are players like that.
Yeah, but the media is way worse in Boston. The radio shows, the TV, everybody.
They got two other teams they're paying attention to right now.
Yeah, but they're still vicious. I played there, and they had the Patriots, the Celtics, and the Bruins, and then the Red Sox. They weren't exactly in season at the time.
Yeah.
Whatever. But that media is there every day.
Sure.
And they are scrutinizing everything. Like, if you're in practice, it's almost like Toronto or New York. It's very close. Like, if you're in practice and you kind of lackadaisical effort. Whoa, were you hurt in that drill, or were you just not trying? Or you're like, what the hell?
Assess your effort.
Bro, I was out till 5 o'clock in the morning. Would you give me a break?
Back off. You saw me.
Can you not smell me right now?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. That wasn't me, Anthony.
No, yeah.
You got to get in the steam room.
Catch a late mass and get to bed.
Oh,
get in the steam room early to get it out of your pores. That's
Did you
for
say
sure.
mass?
Yeah. Plus, Boston's a very religious town.
I call it a late mass. And got to bed.
Yeah, I don't know. They had this place called the church.
We had one of those.
Let me tell you.
Was that
It wasn't a church.
I was about to say, was that an establishment?
There's a lot of sins being forgiven.
Yeah. Brian Bello will go tonight for Boston. Kyle Gibson will be on the bump for the Cardinals. Tomorrow's matchup is slated for Cutter Crawford and Miles Michaelis. And then on Sunday, it's a TBD situation for the Cardinals. Nick Pivetta will start for Boston, or scheduled to start for Boston. Matthew Liberatore, that's his spot in the rotation. As of now, it's a TBD. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're undecided about Liberatore, but I do wonder if we see Liberatore at any point the next two nights. Obviously, he won't start on Saturday. So what does that tell us? If Ali wants to leave it open on Sunday, is he doing so because he wants Matthew Liberatore in a reliever spot, or at least a break in case of emergency spot?
Yeah. And
that tells us a lot about him starting then, right?
It's counter. I don't know. It's counterproductive to what the hell they do. It's like the Cardinals can't get out of their own way to where they announced last week, or they discussed, I shouldn't say they announced, it was discussed from Ollie himself that we're going to give Libby, a little bit of runway here, and it's going to be his spot for the foreseeable future, just, while we work through some things, blah, blah, blah. And now here we are with a TBD. You're like, okay, uncle. So if you're going to give Liberatore his runway or whatever it is, like...
You're not.
You're not.
If you were going to, you would.
Yeah.
His name would be next to, who's starting.
But this is also, this screws with players, too.
I agree with that.
Especially young players.
The not knowing from day to day, you are best when you know what role you have. When I can come to work every single day and I know this is what I'm going to be doing, and I can focus and lock in on that role. If it changes, okay, cool, I can adapt. But when it's constantly changing and you don't know, am I starting today? Am I in the bullpen? Am I, are we having a bullpen game and I'm only allowed to throw 3 innings? What is my role and how do I go about my day? And how do you want me to be successful if I'm up and down and not knowing which way to go?
Can you imagine, Carey, going to the football field and one day you're playing fullback, the next day you're playing wide receiver?
That would be...
No, okay, but how do you practice? How do you get prepared?
You have to already have had reps at that position and know exactly what's going on.
But my point is, it's like me, there were times in my career I showed up and all of a sudden I was playing forward.
Yeah.
That game, oh crap. I'm in the room going over the forecheck, making sure I know what's going on, which I did anyways, because as a defenseman, you need to know what everybody's doing.
Sure.
But, so Matthew Liberatore, when I bring it back to him, the bullpen is way different than being in the rotation as far as your preparation is concerned. Mm-hmm. And so now you got a kid that, from our perspective, maybe Matthew Liberatore knows exactly what's going on. The team has been very honest with him, but it's tough for us to assume that when it feels like there's always so many twists and turns and secrets and deceptions. Yeah. Matthew Liberatore now shows up to the ball field. Maybe he's coming out of the pen tonight, or maybe he's starting on Saturday. How do you prepare? It's fine if that's Lance Lynn. Yeah. Because he's a veteran, whatever, or someone like that, older player. But Matthew Liberatore, he's trying to get prepared the best way possible to stay in the big leagues.
Mm-hmm. And knowing your role every single day.
Well, it helps.
With that.
Yeah. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, it's the Fast Line on 101 ESPN. We're going to play you some audio from BK and Ferrario today. They chatted with somebody from Boston that, when you hear it, you also may have the same thought process as we did, which is that the Cardinals, if they're gonna make some changes with their front office, they better clean house.
You might want to make sure you have an air sickness bag ready.
Ooh. We'll explain why next on 101 ESPN. If you're thinking about redoing your kitchen, now is the perfect time to call Mosby Building Arts, because when you call before June 30th, book your first appointment, they will give you a $2,500 Airbnb gift card with any kitchen remodel. So if you're already considering redoing your kitchen, or you've been thinking about it for a while now, again, give Mosby a call, because they've got their great kitchen escape going on. $2,500 Airbnb gift card with a kitchen remodel. Plus, you get to work with the absolute absolute best in the business. We're talking about people that will come in and they'll set things up for you. They'll design the kitchen that you want. They'll work with you. And then when they start the process, you're going to be blown away by what they do. They wait until all of your materials are in, then they start your project, and you're going to get your own plumber, you're going to get your own designer, you're going to get your own electrician, whatever calls for it, your own contractor. Everybody's in-house at Mosby. That way they ensure that you're not going to be without a kitchen for months on end. They do it efficiently, they do it right the first time, and they do it in a way that you're going to be completely satisfied with it with the project when it's all said and done. Again, Mosby's Great Kitchen Escape. When you call to book your first appointment between now and June 30th, you get that $2,500 Airbnb gift card with that kitchen remodel, all courtesy of Mosby. 314-909-1800. Call Mosby.com. It's Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company.
I think that the biggest knock on Heim when he was here was just the inability to really be as proactive as they wanted to be, particularly the trade deadline.
What a shame.
I think the trades overall that he made were pretty good, but I think that just with Heim, the biggest thing is it's not just from the outside. I think it's people, the agents, whether it was falling short and going after free agents or whatever it was just getting the willingness to get uncomfortable. And I think that's one of the things that I would hope that the next chance he gets, he would do a better job at.
That was Rob Bradford of WEEI talking about John Mozeliak. Heim Bloom.
Oh, man.
So Rob was on earlier today with BK and Ferrario, and that audio right there, when he's talking about kind of basically being risk averse.
Risk averse, not sure.
Oh, man.
Not willing to get uncomfortable.
Yeah. So Heim Bloom, of course, is in now the St. Louis organization. They hired him this offseason to give some fresh eyes on this mess of a situation for the Cardinals. Except for he might as well be John Mozeliak's brother, according to
his long-lost twin.
His long-lost twin, exactly.
So here's something I can tell you. I shouldn't say about business. My philosophy when it comes to business and coaching or assembling, a team. You don't necessarily, and actually for me, my number one thing is you hire people who are going to offer a different perspective and healthy challenges to the group.
but still have a vision
The
that fits with
overall
yours.
vision at
Yes.
the end is the same. So
I
if it's
agree.
business, the overall vision is successful business, lots of revenue, everybody makes more money. But his road to that might look slightly different than my road to that, and that's good. So same when you're assembling a team. If you have a bunch of yes people, like we're assuming, that's the problem.
Are we assuming?
Well, okay. When you have a bunch
Is
of
it an
yes people,
assumption at this point?
I think so.
No.
Because we're not behind closed doors, right?
Okay.
So maybe Chaim Bloom is already pushing back. I doubt it. But maybe Michael Gersh is. He'd probably get fired. But either way, usually when you assemble, especially pro sports, you want some pushback. But you want the pushback with reasoning. Like, okay,
Right.
why do you see it that way?
Right.
And when you watch
Challenge,
all the
but-
behind-the-scenes things for the NFL draft, you watch the NHL draft or the trade deadline, when they bring you behind, you see the healthy challenges.
Right.
You see the different personalities. The biggest mistake you can make is just having a whole bunch of like-minded people who think exactly the same way, because then when things go south, they don't know how to veer off the course
No.
and do anything different.
And it's on you. I think the best leadership is willing and to listen to everyone in the room. They don't have to agree with you. At the end of the day, it's still your decision.
100%.
But you have to get we talk about analytics all the time. You have to get all of the information to make a good decision. And some of that information should be different from what you think. Because if we're not all the smartest people in the room and we're all going to say this is the no, you have to have some pushback that gives you someone playing devil's advocate and saying, hey, what about this? Think about it this way. We should think about it this way. And that allows you to come together collectively and make a good decision, a good sound decision. But when everyone is all on the same page, oh yeah, I love that idea. Do you? Yeah, I do. It's great. Great. You should do it. Okay, let's do it. And then it's a dumbass idea and everybody's looking at you like, well, I thought it was a good idea, but you made the decision. So having people push back on things allows you to, and it allows people in that room to feel like they're a part of something. They're not just here at your beck and call and saying, yeah, sure, whatever you say.
They're not invested.
They're not invested.
Well, they feel like
they
they're
have no
just
skin
whatever.
in the game,
Yeah.
right? So I think that's important. And I don't know. Again, I don't know if there are yes men. I think we assume that that's the case because we haven't seen anything different. But I'm with you, Anthony. We might be at a puke point here shortly, and trying to figure some things out.
That audio did it for me, man. When I heard that and I was driving in, I was like, oh, my Lord.
So speaking of that audio, this is from BK and Ferrario earlier today. Rob Bradford joined him. He is a Red Sox reporter for WEEI. And this is T-Bone. You'll hear Tanner Hendrickson asking, no, not this one. All right. Which one is this? Then,
Anthony, I cut out T-Bone's
what?
question.
Wow.
So T-Bone asked him, you won't hear T-Bone unless you tune in BK and Ferrario. But T-Bone asked Chaim Bloom asked if Chaim Bloom's tenure had to do with his vision or restraints on ownership, which is a really good question. Here's Rob Bradford's response.
No, I think he just got caught in the middle. I mean, I think honestly he just got caught in the middle where, are we in it? Are we not in it? And at that time, I don't think it was an ownership thing at all. You go back to the trade deadline, 2021. He did a pretty good job. He got Schwarber, but Schwarber was undervalued because he had a hamstring injury, but he turned out to be really good. Give him credit for that. But then you go to 2022 and 2023. 2022, they had a ton of these guys coming off the books, like high-end guys, Bogarts and J.D. Martinez and Nathan Eovaldi. And they're in it, but they're kind of not in it. So they hold on to them. They trade Christian Vasquez, which was a huge hit to the clubhouse. And so there was this element of you're trying to play both sides of the fence. And ask any executive, like, that doesn't work.
No.
I don't think that Chaim was willing to get uncomfortable enough when it counted the most at the deadline. That was the problem.
I quit.
Is this the Cardinals?
I'm done. I can't.
Like, was that?
I can't. If this is the succession plan for John Mozeliak, I'm out. I'm freaking out.
Dude, when he said they're trying to play both sides of the fence, that's what I've been talking about with them
I just puked in
chasing
my
both
own
rabbits.
mouth. I had to swallow it back down as bad as it tasted because I didn't want you guys to be grossed out.
I appreciate that, Jamie.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
No, you're right. If this is the secession plan, this is what they're going to switch to. Is like, we got the answer here. All you're doing is hiring a younger version of Mo.
Unreal.
You have to either ownership has to change, and it really should start there. I should just stop there.
No, ownership just has to change vision.
Sure.
Like, enough with the country club guys and the risk-averse guys. And all. Like, we need a guy in here that his life depends on making this team successful. I want the guy who sleeps at the damn ball field. Like, not leaving. Mm-hmm. This sounds... It just sounds like rinse repeat.
Well, I want the guy to go in there. Like, if I'm building a president of baseball operations for the Cardinals, I want somebody to go in there and look at ownership and say, hey, we either spending more or we're not, or we're spending less. But I'm sorry, we're either spending more on free agency or we're spending more on scouting.
Because we're spending some more money, though.
Because I can't. If you don't want to go the route of the big-time player acquisitions in the offseason, fine. But I'm going to need more spending ability when it comes to the scouting then. If you really want to be the Brewers, the Rays, somebody like that, you want if it's about the bottom line, okay. But I'm going to need a hell of a lot more so I can scout internationally and here in the States the talent that we need to inject into this organization, because you can't have the feet in both boxes here. You can't say, we'll spend on these mid-tier free agents. We're good. No, because you're going to get mid-tier players.
Yeah. Now, when did the DeWitts purchase the team? What year? Do we know? Because I have a valid question about all of this. If I believe it's 2007, or was it before that?
I think it was before that. Let me see here.
It's just out of curiosity. Because
1996.
Okay, way off, Jamie. So
DeWitt Jr. served as the chairman and chief executive officer of the Cardinals since 1996, when he led the purchase of the team from Anheuser-Busch, and his immediate family acquired a controlling interest in the team.
I think you're thinking of Mo. Mo took over, I believe.
In 2011, I believe, is what.
No,
07.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he inherited Walt Jocketty's team. So let's go back to my original thought here then. So when the DeWitts purchased the team or took over the team from Anheuser-Busch, Tony La Russa and Walt Jocketty used to go and dig their heels in with ownership to go get players. Now, La Russa did it to Jocketty, and then Jocketty would be the guy to talk to ownership about it, but they went and got the players. So they either hated being pushed around by their GM or president of baseball operations and manager, that they hired somebody or elevated somebody to a position to where there was less friction, or they just forgot what made them successful originally. Because how does it make sense to have what we know of Tony La Russa, where he would bulldog Walt Jocketty so much they'd almost get into fistfights over who the hell they were going to acquire and what was going on. Then Jocketty would have to move it up the ladder to the DeWitts, and then the players would end up here. The Jim Edmonds, the Mark McGuires, that you go through the list. So what happened?
Wasn't that a reason that Mike Schilt was fired? Philosophical differences?
Well, yeah.
We're having a conversation about what I want as a manager, and someone else doesn't want that. Like I think we're in a position. You said that the POBO needs to go and say we're either spending money on scouting or we're spending money on free agents. You were here last week when Bill DeWitt III said, all we do is get the revenue and pay the payroll. They don't have any extra money, Anthony. Where do you want this money to come from?
My bad.
I mean, they're spending
Carey,
every dollar that they have on the payroll. The money that they receive, that they're spending it on the payroll. There is nothing extra to spend. So they can't go and spend more money on free agents, and they can't spend more money on scouting and development. I'm sorry to inform you of that.
They can, Carey, if the damn fans would show up, you know?
So you're right. You all have to show up in droves, and then maybe they spend more money.
If we pack the place, even to support a last place team,
I don't know.
Then they've
been showing up. 3 million people.
Well, it's all about what you do for me lately.
Okay, all right. Well, I just want you to understand, and I want the fans to understand, there's no extra money flying around. Yeah. They don't have any money trees that they planted out there in Busch Stadium.
You're right, Carey.
Okay, just want you to know.
You're right.
But they're going to finance renovations on their own. They said they're not asking for public money. So.
They will.
Not now.
Not yet.
If you want that public money, you better go win.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you win,
Go make
you're
a
not gonna
nice
get
run.
public
No, you go
money.
make a nice run. Everybody feels good about it. Like, oh, okay, taxpayer money's fine.
I'll pay for that.
We got a winner here.
Yeah. What's trending is next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey, and I want to tell you about my good friends over at Scrap Mart Metal. My guy Lucas is there. He can help you set up a business account. If you're a contractor or you own a business that needs recycling, then you need to learn more about Scrap Mart Metals. They are tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. At Scrap Mart, they understand that job site cleanup for contractors is a mess. If you set up a business account, it's one less thing you have to do during cleanup. They'll take care of it. If you're a plumber, heating and cooling excavator, or any type of contractor, Scrap Mart Metals recycling can make your job easier. You have that heavy equipment, it breaks down often. It's always going in and out. Eventually, you're going to have to replace it. And when that time comes to end your suffering, Scrap Mart will come get it out of your way. They'll haul your equipment to one of their convenient locations, and you will get a check the same day. Or if you want to haul it yourself, you can. They have 3 convenient locations: Valley Park, Peebly, Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it. It is recycling made easy. They offer convenient drive-on scale, and they have the highest payout and will get you a check the same day. So visit scrapmartmetals.com today and talk to them about getting your business account set up. That's scrapmartmetals.com, and tell them Carey sent you.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals welcome Tyler O'Neill back to Busch Stadium tonight as the Cards take on the Red Sox. Kyle Gibson on the mound. He is 2-2 with a 3.67 ERA. The Cardinals will take on the Red Sox at 7:15. That is the first pitch. Tonight on 101 ESPN, you can listen to the Bruins and Panthers Game 6. Pregame starts at 5:30. We have What's Trending coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, the big news of the day happened early this morning. This is according to Jeff Darlington. World #1 golfer Scottie Scheffler has been detained by police in handcuffs after a misunderstanding with traffic flow led to his attempt to drive past a police officer into Valhalla Golf Club. The police officer attempted to attach himself to Scheffler's car, and Scheffler then stopped his vehicle at the entrance to Valhalla. The police officer then began to scream at Scheffler to get out of the car. When Scheffler exited the vehicle, the officer shoved Scheffler against the car and immediately placed him in handcuffs, and then he was detained in the back of a police car. There's a mugshot, went to jail, went back, and now he's killing it on the greens.
So this whole thing is kind of ridiculous. I did some digging into this, and Scottie Scheffler is not without fault in this, but he showed up to the course in a PGA car, and they were instructed to drive past everything because apparently there was an accident earlier on there. There was someone who lost their life.
Yeah, fatal accident.
A fatal accident, which is terrible.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that Scottie Scheffler and his driver at the time, or Scottie Scheffler, who was driving at the time, knew about that yet. They arrived on the scene, and there was a bit of chaos. Police are there. They're trying to direct traffic, and they're trying to guide him away from where he needs to go. Meanwhile, he's a golfer. And Carey, as a player, if you're pulling up to the stadium to where you park as a player, yep. I'm pulling up to the stadium or to the Enterprise Center where I know I'm a player, and I know I've got to make a right turn, and the cop is blocking me, but I'm like, he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'd be in an NHL car, by the way,
right,
and try to make that, and then the cop jumps on the car and everything. I'm going to be like a little bit startled. And that to me is what I think what happened is the officer thought he was resisting the traffic control or, not resisting arrest, but avoiding the traffic control. And so then he lost his mind and then jumped on the car and whatnot. Now he's injured.
He's got abrasions.
Get the hell out of here.
The cop
You
has
jumped on the car, idiot.
Well,
whoa.
I'm just saying, you don't jump on a car
Carey,
and then get mad.
He could be smart and jumped on the car.
No, people that jump on cars are generally not smart.
And I'm no police
jumped on
officer.
Jamie's car last night.
Well, yeah, that's different.
That was
though.
a different.
Oh.
I'm not a police officer, so I don't want to speak out of turn. Because first of all, I respect all the men and women who protect us.
I do as well, but you don't put yourself in danger
I
by
know what
jumping on a
protocol
car.
is.
I don't think that's protocol.
Is protocol jumping on a car when they don't? I'm asking.
I doubt it. I doubt that they teach that during training to jump on a car.
Part 2 where
you
we
could
jump on
probably
cars.
get in your car and turn your lights on and follow him.
Or you just get a license plate number
And then
you
go-
radio
there you
ahead
go.
and somebody cuts them off, and then we
Right.
don't have this.
Yeah, that part to me was ridiculous. And again, I think it was just some confusion, but I do feel that officer had a little bit of aggression because who jumps on a car?
I don't get it. And now he's hurt. And now you know what's going to happen.
Now it's
he's going to
Scottie
sue
Scheffler's
Scottie Scheffler because
That's
now he
crazy.
knows who he is.
Right.
He's going to be like, this is the #1 golfer in the world.
Yeah.
I'm going to
That-
get a payday out of
That's
this.
ridiculous.
Well, and here's the other thing, too. Like, let's use common sense here. It couldn't have just been Scottie Scheffler.
Probably
They're
not.
all going to the right?
Unless he was the first one.
Unless he was the first one.
Yeah.
All right, we have a police officer here from the 618. So 618, I'm going to read your text, but you need to respond with what protocol is. because he says, as a police officer, it doesn't matter if you're famous, a pro player. If you're told to stop, you stop, even if another tells you to go. That's fine. Okay, I'm not disputing that. Even though the tournament told Scotty Scheffler, just don't worry about that, just go to the clubhouse or whatever they do. That's fine. But then what is protocol then at that point? Because protocol is not to lay in front of the car or jump on top of it.
It cannot be.
It can't be.
I'm a little sensitive to this subject because I've had my fair share of run-ins with police officers where one police officer on my side and the passenger side told me to take my seatbelt off, so I'm following the instructions of said police officer, reach down, and the other police officer on the other side, on the driver's side, jumps in the car and puts a gun to my head. So I'm a little sensitive about when people do things out of protocol because I've experienced it. I'm doing what I'm told to do. Taking my seatbelt off, reach down, the officer jumps in with his gun, cross my friend, hit gun to my head. What are you reaching for? Don't think that that's protocol. Don't think jumping in a car or on a car is anywhere in the training of a police officer.
Yeah.
That's a person that is going, I wouldn't even say above and beyond. They are losing their damn mind. And so, again, I don't think Scotty Scheffler was speeding through, because if you're jumping on a car, he wasn't speeding. He's going at a decent pace, trying to go around, thinking that, oh, crap, this isn't for me. I got to get to work.
I think he thought it was a fan, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, apparently it wasn't in uniform. It was just an undercover person in a vest. But here's where I'll say this. I'm going to push back on Scotty Scheffler just a little bit, because I've had these situations happen. And at Enterprise Center, following a game, they block off 14th or Clark. They block off Clark. You cannot drive down there. As a former player, when I'd leave, if you'd left early, if there's a healthy scratch, you're leaving early.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going right. Like, you're saying, hey, can I just, the exit's right there. Can I? So when you pull up, the cops always give you no, get the hell out of here, you know? Then roll down your window and you call them over and talk to them.
Right.
Hey, by the way, I'm Scotty Scheffler. I was told by the PGA, my tee time is in an hour and a half or 2 hours, whatever it is.
I was told to just,
what would you like me to do? But I got to get in there.
Right.
Most of the time, the cop at that point is going to go, okay, hang on. And he'll stop traffic.
Absolutely.
And he'll radio and say, hey, this guy's with the tournament, blah, blah, blah. Let him through. So Scotty Scheffler is not without blame here if he didn't roll down his window and communicate properly.
Right. I mean, I remember when we were at... What was it? The Blues kickoff party. Remember we did the broadcast from Anheuser-Busch this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then we had the Blues.
Right.
So Madeline, my daughter, had a dance competition that night. So right after the show, I needed to get out of there so I could. So everybody's coming in for the Blues event. So it's packed house. So I went up to one of the guardrails there, and there was a police officer there. I did the same thing. I parked the car, got out of the vehicle, and explained to the officer, hey, I got to get out. My daughter's got to dance. And he did exactly what you just described, Jamie. He said, no problem. Give me a second. He held off traffic. He opened the little gate or the barrier for me, let me out. I said, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. And that was it. Like, let's just use some common sense.
And this is the frustrating part for me, because there are so many, as you said, Jamie, good men and women that do what they're supposed to do as officers and take care of their business in the right way. There are some idiots that don't. And I think that this person is an idiot. I don't care what he says or what anyone says. You jump on a car, you're going to get hurt. That's not something you should be doing. You're not... You've been watching too many movies. I don't know.
Well,
that's ridiculous.
We do have some police officers on here and a federal officer who just commented, says, we're always taught the radio is faster than you or the car.
There you go. That makes sense. That's common sense. It makes sense.
It's common sense. But again, going back, for me to put a bow on this is I blame both sides, because Scotty Scheffler should know just to talk to the guy.
Right.
Those cops are going to know right away as soon as he sees the PGA credentials or whatever, or even the name. Like Scotty Scheffler, even if you're not a golf fan, you know he's won the Masters. So communicate a little bit there. And then the cop, I thought, overreacted a little bit afterwards.
By the way, Scotty Scheffler is tied for second in the PGA Championship. He is 9 under, and in round 2, he went even today through 18. So could have done better if maybe... he wasn't in jail.
Well, so I think there was a big missed opportunity today to put a little levity to this. One, Scotty Scheffler won the green jacket. Then he had an orange jumpsuit on this morning. I think that the missed opportunity is Scotty Scheffler returning to the golf course, not wearing orange today. He should have had an orange shirt on.
Ryan in the snake pit says, "Yeah, keep standing up for Scotty. That was that was above everyone else. Any other person would still be in jail facing felony charges."
Well, apparently the judge got brought into this because the judge is notified immediately. And the judge is the one that ruled him to be able to leave because obviously he felt like this was above and beyond what was necessary.
Right.
And he said that Scotty Scheffler was not a risk as far as leaving the jail. It is uncommon, though, very uncommon for somebody facing felony charges to be let out in the afternoon or later on that morning.
DJ Patty Cakes, that cop had money on someone else winning.
FanDuel.com/fast.
Man. All right, that'll do it for what's trending here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Did last night solidify what it takes to win a Stanley Cup? Plus, we'll get into how do NHL players actually view the playoffs. Carey found a story that was kind of interesting involving one of the current players in the NHL. Wanted to pick Jamie's brain about that. That's next on 101 ESPN. Just a correction from that last segment. Scotty Scheffler's 5 under.
5 under.
Yeah,
I
5
can't
under
read,
today.
Anthony. I read
Hey,
Xander
listen.
Schauffele.
Hey,
is he
Marsh, hold on here. We do a show. It's 4 hours. We're going to have some slip-ups. I had one yesterday.
We're not allowed to.
I'll have one another.
We are not allowed.
We are not allowed to.
Ever.
Believe it or not, we
You
are
cannot
humans.
get dates wrong, names wrong,
Right.
important places and times. Forget about it.
Right.
Don't mess it up.
Which
okay?
is funny to me because the regular listeners to the Fast Lane, they know that little intricate things like that, we never get them right. So,
In fairness to
if you
us, we
listen to
screw up
the
things all
names-
the time.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Now, our information about sports and things that happen, that's unbelievably accurate. However, if you bring up dates, math,
Math.
Names.
names, yeah, those are struggles for us. Reading.
Reading.
Yeah.
Well,
I
no.
personally-
I'm working on it. You know that.
You did a good job yesterday. That was a tough one.
Well,
Yeah, don't worry about it. You did a good job. I was proud of you.
don't leave me. Don't let me off the hook.
after this incident, I think I've been relegated to the orange reading group.
No, it takes a while for that.
Same color as Scotty
There
Scheffler's
you go.
jumpsuit
Yeah.
earlier this morning.
Yeah.
So
Boys, just a little information here before we move
Hold on, let me read something here.
Oh, okay.
Mahaba.
What?
I'll keep working. Go ahead, Jamie.
Okay. We'll work through that with you.
Oh, it says Tyler O'Neill.
Elliot Friedman reporting
Texted you?
on Twitter that the Toronto Maple Leafs are far along in the process of naming Craig Berube as their next head coach.
Nice.
So the Chief looks like he's going to end up in Toronto where he played.
Just as you kind of indicated / reported a couple of days
I
ago.
may have,
You may have had some knowledge.
I may have been teammates with the president over there, Brendan Shanahan. I'm not saying that's how I know anything, but I may have been teammates with that guy. And that group is in for a rude awakening in a great way.
I'm sure it is, and he will forever be somebody. And I hope it's all true. He will forever be somebody that we will root for.
Absolutely.
Chief is an awesome dude.
Absolutely. And if he does
Obviously a
get
great
that
coach.
job, we'll get him on here for another talk with the Fast Lane.
Yeah, darn right. Absolutely. All right. Did last night solidify what it takes to win a Stanley Cup? You look at the games from last night, and tonight is really interesting, too, because you got the Panthers and Bruins. Panthers lead that series 3-2. It's in Boston. And then Dallas is up 3-2. They're in Colorado, though. So the two teams that could win their series tonight will have to do so on the road. But last night, you had the Rangers. After the Hurricanes gave them a series in the middle there, didn't look great early on. Hurricanes storm back. Rangers
Well
score
said.
4. Thank you. Rangers scored. Wouldn't even try. Rangers scored 4 in the third period. They win 5-3. Canucks also battle back, and they win 3-2 against Edmonton to take a 3-2 series lead. But the Rangers advance.
So the theme of the playoffs, and we've talked about this, and I'm going to just beat it into oblivion, is defense and goaltending.
Mm-hmm.
The New York Rangers were completely outplayed that entire series. I mean, hanging on for dear life. Outshot probably 2-1 throughout the total of the series. And yet they won. Last night, Igor Shesterkin made 3 unreal saves in the third period when the score was 3-1 at the time for the Hurricanes. Had they scored one more, it's over. You're going to Game 7. But they didn't score. And then the goaltending for the Hurricanes, Freddie Anderson out to lunch on 2 of the goals.
Yeah, seriously.
Like right out to lunch. Like the puck is shot to his skate on the post and just sits there and waits. And Chris Kreider's like, okay, thank you. Whack.
Yeah.
That's a goal.
That reminded me of, was it Tristan Jarry? Remember I texted you many years ago.
It was Tristan Jarry when he was in Pittsburgh.
When he rifled that pass,
Straight up.
I can't remember who it was, but he rifled a pass to a forward. The problem was it wasn't his forward, and he just
The guy buried it.
tape to tape, just a perfect pass. Anyways, go ahead.
But no, Freddie Anderson, his save percentage for the series, .862.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's getting sent to the minors, let alone starting in goal for you in Game 6 of an important series. So
kidding.
the goaltending in that made the difference because the Hurricanes were by far the better team. Then you jump to the Vancouver game, and Vancouver with a relatively unknown goaltender carrying the load right now, and then the head coach for the Oilers, Chris Knobloch, decides to go back to a goalie that's never played with one game. This was his second game last night. And the last goal, with ticking away, 30 seconds left in the game, the defense play the rush wrong. Connor McDavid doesn't find the open man because the Oilers had 4 guys in the zone and the Canucks had 3. Mm-hmm. And they fired a shot from a bad angle. The goalie makes a bad save, puts the rebound into a bad area, and JT Miller buries it with 30 seconds left, who, by the way, he was Connor McDavid's guy. So defense, there again, the Edmonton Oilers are the most powerful offensive team in all of the NHL, and here they are down 3-2 to a Vancouver team that really shouldn't be right there with them.
And really struggled coming into the playoffs.
Yeah, they had a big burst throughout the middle of the season. Yeah. They jumped ahead of everybody. Then Elias Peterson, he is absolutely he's tailed off. They're trying to basically where's Waldo? Where did he go? Mm-hmm. And he's supposed to be their best player. They got their third string goalie in net right now. And here they are, one game away from advancing.
Brock Besner's had an unbelievable series.
He's been great. JT Miller, great. Too. But again, look at a guy like Miller.
Hughes had a big game last night.
But look at a guy like Miller. We always talk about difference makers. I talk about the Kachuk boys as unicorns. Miller's close. His talent isn't high enough to be there, but his grit is there. He's a guy that punch you in the face or bury a rebound or toe drag you and score. But that's what it takes. Yep. And 30 seconds left in the game, he's the guy who's scoring to go ahead. So the theme remains that defense and goaltending will win you championships.
Does it? I feel like it's also, grit, just the ability. We talk about the Rangers being down in the manner in which they were, looking like, it's going to be Game 7, and then they were able to come back. Good teams, no matter what the score is, can find a way to stay in a game, get back into a game, or if you're up, not lose that game. And I think that's essentially what, being a championship team requires, to find a way to win no matter what the score is. You're never too far behind unless you're the Denver Nuggets and you're down by 50.
That's tough. That's tough. Chasing the game, to say the least.
But a championship team finds a way to win that game, and the Rangers found a way to win that game last night.
And the Hurricanes found a way to lose it.
There you go.
Because 15 minutes left in the third period, and they were up 3-1. There's absolutely no way you should lose that game.
Lose.
Yeah. And the Hurricanes kept pressing, to give them credit. They kept pressing, but their defensive zone coverage absolutely went out the window. And this is the risk. The Carolina Hurricanes play man-to-man defense. And they play that way because they're big and they're fast, and you can cover a lot of area, and you take away time and space. Now, the problem with that is if one guy misses his assignment or one guy gets beat, you're screwed. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
They're falling asleep. Chatfield, the one defenseman, he's standing right beside Kreider. But he's puck watching and not aware of where Kreider's stick is. So when the puck comes across, he reaches for it, misses the puck, Kreider puts it in the net. Thank you very much. No, your stick should have been wrapped right under his stick because there was no threat of the guy behind the goal line to score. If he scores from there, then you punch your goalie in the face, let's just be honest, and you wait for some help to come down. But he just lost his man. It fell apart for the Hurricanes, and you could see it unraveling, and I was like, oh, my God. Brendan Moore at one point, I'm like, call a timeout.
Yeah.
I know the risk is, don't call a timeout because then they're going to get uptight. I'd rather call the timeout, settle them down, and go back to basics of what we're doing here than to let it just fall apart and then try to call a timeout when they're up by a goal now.
Sure.
Now you've lost the edge in the game.
Yeah. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. We do have Bruins and Panthers tonight. 5:30 is the pregame. That's right, we're off a little earlier tonight. 5:30 pregame, Bruins and Panthers game 6. Was Lance Lynn talking about the Cardinals ownership on a recent episode of a podcast, or somebody else? Sure sounded like Cardinals ownership. That's next on 101 ESPN. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. 3:02 your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Lance Lynn was on the bump last night, or 2 nights ago, so he will not be on the bump.
Nope.
Tonight.
But not today.
All right, wasn't expecting a lineup there.
That's Carey's idea. He said, let Anthony get started and then just jam the lineup right in his face.
Now I know it was your idea. You saying
I'm
that.
glad you can place that, put that together.
I've been working with him a while. This is why I can't. He's the reason I can't Stalter anybody anymore. He's like, you're Staltering me. But stuff like that I pick up from Jamie. All right. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's go, baby.
So tonight, Brian Bello is a right-hander for
Brian
the
Bellows,
Boston
great goal
Red
scorer
Sox.
for the North Stars back in the day. Number 23 was the captain, had a terrible hairpiece.
Really?
Yeah, his hairpiece came off.
Sutherland?
His hairpiece came off one time in a fight. Like the front end of it flipped
No
up.
kidding.
Yeah.
Well, now he's pitching for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Thought his father was.
No, he's Canadian. Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland? Is he?
Yep, good Canadian boy.
Okay. He said Kiefer. Son's name was Kiefer, and I asked him, was it Sutherland? And he said no.
No. Yeah.
Kiefer
Jack
Bellows.
Bauer
His
is,
dad's on the bump tonight.
Okay. Kiefer.
Righty, as far as I remember.
Yeah, righty. Different guy, though. Definitely a different guy. All right, you guys ready?
Yep. Let's go, baby.
All right, leading off. What do you think?
I think it's Matt Carpenter.
What do you think, Carey?
I don't.
All right.
I think it's Donovan or Carpenter.
Carpenter cannot be playing today, with all due respect.
He got a day off. He's well rested.
All due respect. I said with all due respect. We can't do this, can we?
We got to expect the unexpected, Carey.
Can we? Are we seriously going to do this? Where
No.
Matt Carpenter is the savior?
No. You
No
think
offense.
you think it's Donovan?
I will go with Donovan.
I think it's Donovan.
I'm
too.
overruled. Go ahead, boys.
You know what, Carey? This was your call.
I bet you do. Show us Brendan Donovan. What the hell?
I wanted to give you credit.
Donnie.
Yeah, this headband's pretty cool.
I was confident
Marshy, I
in
would have
you.
loved if you went.
That would have been rough.
That would have been terrible.
Yeah.
I'd have been very upset.
That would have been real tough. Yeah. All right, so Brendan Donovan leading off tonight against the Boston Red Sox.
All right.
This has typically been Newt of late.
I like it.
I don't see why that would change.
Show us Lars Taylor Tatsui. Newt Bar.
What makes you think she's a witch?
Well, she turned me into a newt.
A newt.
We got better.
All right,
This got to be R.L. Chalk,
go
right?
for it. Yep, I agree.
Show us Paul Goldschmidt.
Gold! Rich with gold! Gold!
I do
right.
like that one.
So do I.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name?
Yukon Cornelius.
Yukon Cornelius.
He'd throw his pickaxe up and it'd fall and he'd lick it and find out there was gold.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sanitary.
Very.
Hey,
And like it mattered.
some Yeti pee out there a little bit,
Yeah.
but he'd know it's not gold.
That's true.
That's for sure. Yellow, but it ain't gold.
Tough guy. Show us Noah Arenado.
He's a Gold Glove winner and perennial All-Star.
Oh, listen to Mr. Gold Glove over here.
Come on.
Alex from the Snake Pit is asking, why do they have Sounders? So this is how it works. If they win a series, Marsh rewards them with Sounders for the next series.
Until they lose a series.
If they lose a series,
Is that how we're doing it?
Like after tomorrow's game, probably no.
that's Jamie. Come on, man.
Right. It's negative. I apologize.
This could be the last time you hear Sounders for a while.
Marsh.
You guys. Brandon told you all yesterday to be better.
Oh, he
Yeah.
didn't like your attitude either,
Well,
Carey.
he
I'm trying
said
to make
earlier
friends
today
now.
that Marshy was the only one that was really representing well enough because he's got his Redbird hat and jersey on.
I got my Cardinals underwear on.
No one. Well,
I've seen them.
You're the only one. I haven't seen them. I don't want to.
I thought the bikini cut was a bit much, but I respected it.
Well, they're 1-0 when I wear it, so
I can tell you haven't washed them.
yeah, why would I?
Going.
Speaking of gold,
I'm not going to wash away the magic.
They lost the last game.
I didn't wear it then.
Oh, okay. So you didn't watch it after?
No.
Too many questions. I'm sorry.
come on, Carey.
It's all right.
You're really diving into that, eh?
No.
Show 'em.
Nah, he showed you. I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
I'll let you see.
I'm okay. Alec Burleson here?
What?
Are we going Burley here?
Yeah.
Show us Alec Burleson.
That's a monster.
You know, kind of closed my eyes and swung at it and did what I wanted to do.
Hurley to the rescue!
All right. Is this Herrera
So we got
or Gorman?
Gorman is not playing.
What? It's a righty.
You don't think
playing
so?
for sure.
Who's playing? No, I don't.
Oh, I think Gorman is somewhere in this lineup.
Oh,
Donovan is second base, or is he in left field?
He's going to be left field.
I think he's left field.
You
I
got
think
super
Burleson
bad.
is
center?
DH.
I think
Okay.
Burleson's a DH, too.
All right. Go ahead.
So
You
this
think
is
it's-
I think this is either Herrera or Gorman.
Yeah.
And then whoever it is,
Flip-flop.
flip it. Yep.
What do you think?
I would go Herrera.
You would go Herrera?
I would.
What about you?
He dropped out of this running. He's
I'm
like,
sorry.
you guys do whatever. Now he's chirping. You're going to
That's
listen
true,
to him?
yeah.
No, I said it wasn't Gorman. I didn't think he was playing. I didn't say I didn't think it was Herrera.
Don't let the cheap seats back in.
Forceful. What do you think, Jamie?
I think it's, that guy.
Same guy I just said.
Show us Ivan Herrera.
I'm just going to say this right now. I think Ivan Herrera is going to hit a home run right here. Marsh just literally called that at Ballpark Village.
Marsh, had a vision. For some reason, I didn't want to write that down because I'm still waiting for him. Yes.
Yeah. Marshy's
All right.
like he's got some attitude today. I like it.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I think
Gorman.
this is get your popcorn ready.
I do too.
All right. Show us Paul Gorman.
Get your fix organic popcorn.
Get your popcorn ready.
Take that, Carey.
Hey,
All right, so this is what we got, boys.
I'm okay.
win.
We still need a shortstop, yeah, and then
and super
center
bad.
field. Yep, agreed.
You guys have a real Paul Skeens-esque
You shouldn't have said it.
thing going
Why
on
would you
here.
say that? This is the announcer jinx that we taught that no one believes in.
Is this his second start?
We're
Yeah.
getting a Paul Skeens thing?
Yeah.
Got a hot girlfriend?
You gotta know that.
I mean, a talented significant other?
All right, it's on you
take
guys.
He's pitching at Wrigley right now. Got 11 Ks,
Yeah.
1 walk, 6 innings of work,
Must be nice.
and 0 hits.
What inning?
7th. Top 7.
That's unreal. Imagine if you had a guy like that in your system.
Well, you gotta draft those guys.
I was told
Typically,
that-
gotta be.
I was told the Pirates don't try.
No, they'll have him, but then they'll get rid of him in a couple of years.
They might.
They don't try, but they still get a chance to pick first.
Gotcha.
High in the first round because he was a high first rounder, wasn't he?
He's the number 1.
There you go. So
Actually, yeah.
This has got to be Mason Wynn here.
yes, show us Mason Wynn.
I'm watching the Futures game, and this thing's all over Instagram. It's like, this guy threw a ball 100 across the. That's awesome, but like, how many throwing errors does he have?
Oh, I was waiting for that.
Yeah, 2023 first round, first overall pick.
Yeah, he's pretty good, Anthony.
I would say so. Cardinals got Chase Davis, outfielder,
Waiting on Crash
Arizona,
Davis to be here.
in that same draft. All right, Carey,
I hope so.
round us out here, man.
You think it's Michael Ciani?
Super bad.
Show us Michael Ciani.
Michael! Michael!
You're not Michael Phelps. You're Michael Sarah.
Job, fellas.
I can't believe we did that, boys.
Good job, fellas.
Was that perfect?
Yeah.
Yes!
Like Paul Skeens today?
Yeah, yeah.
He's not perfect.
He's
yet.
not
It's
perfect.
just a no
We
hitter.
gave him a walk.
Something perfect.
He had a walk.
Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Leading off in left field, Brendan Donovan. Batting second in right field, Lars Taylor Tatsui Nootbaar. Batting third, first baseman Paul Goldschmidt. Your cleanup hitter, third baseman Nolan Arenado. Batting fifth, the DH, Alec Burleson. Batting sixth, catching Ivan Herrera. Batting seventh, second baseman Nolan Gorman. Batting eighth, the shortstop Mason Wynn. And batting ninth in center field, Michael Ciani.
I don't believe what I just saw. Home run.
So Goldie cashed the other night for me. Did he not?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
What's our score? Where are we at?
It's got to be tight. Marshy and I are tied now, I think.
We don't have to worry about it.
Jamie, you now have
We would like
7
to
since
know.
Paul Goldschmidt is a 1-pointer.
Yeah.
You have 7. I have 9. Carey has 4. And Anthony.
Don't worry about it.
Do you have any?
7.
No,
Wow.
I have not hit a home run.
Speaking of a no-hitter.
Yeah.
But I just helped you. See what I just did?
No, I don't think it works that way. You would think I would fall into one at some point, but nope. Home run gods say I don't think so.
Not many guys are falling into them this year.
Very true.
So,
especially when I pick them.
You get better.
That's right. I got a plan.
Marshy, go.
I was letting Anthony work through
my issues.
Yeah.
It'd take us 3 hours for that. Just go.
So
we got 3 hours, 2.5. I can start again if you.
So
see, it all happened March 30th, 1982,
when Anthony didn't know where he was born.
Yep.
We're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, he doesn't know. Birth certificate says to be TBD.
TBD.
If I'm not mistaken, Nolan Arenado did pretty well last year against the Boston Red Sox, I believe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. I'm picking him, though.
Okay.
Okay.
Solid.
He hit a home run last year.
Sure he did. At some point.
The birth certificate, it was a NFI. That's what it said.
Yeah. That's another way of putting it, for sure. We'll tell you later, Carey.
All right, thank you.
No effing idea.
Got you.
All right, who's up next?
Me.
Go for it.
All right.
Don't do it.
What?
Because I know you're going to do it.
Lars Nootbaar.
Oh, no. Good job.
Where'd you think I was
I
going?
thought you were going where I'm going.
Okay.
Give me Burley.
I thought about Burley.
I know you did. That's why I said don't do it.
March, what am I down? 9? Yeah.
Can I take Ollie?
Brendan Donovan, please.
That's a good call. See, this is where it comes into play.
I know.
If you just keep going, eventually he's going to hit one.
Right? Brendan Donovan.
It's a great strategy.
And whoever's on the bench, right, that's a 5-pointer. Wait till I start doing those.
Oh, yeah. If you call, you could.
Pinch hit.
Marp off the bench.
Yeah.
Oh.
Darn right. No. Okay.
Solid double, though, maybe.
Solid double. That's right. All right. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. So we didn't get into the Lance Lynn conversation. So you hear a piece of audio, and then you tell us whether or not you think he's talking about Cardinals ownership. That's next on 101 ESPN. So Lance Lynn was on the recent edition of Foul Territory, the podcast, and they were talking about Steve Cohen, the Mets owner, and it kind of opened up Lance Lynn to discuss about ownership overall.
Yeah, they started off by talking about Steve Cohen, being on Twitter and social media and all that, and then it evolved from there.
Yeah, so here's Lance Lynn. You listen to it, and then you tell us what you think.
When you own a team, you're in a little different category than most, but I'm all for his wanting to put a winner on the field and, really trying to take the Mets to a championship. So it's kind of it's a little different with him than it is with most managers. This is his baby. The Mets are his baby. Some manager or some owners that own the team as part of their portfolio.
Yeah, so some owners, some ownership groups.
Can we
Carey?
It's this one go. It's Friday.
It's a bit of a portfolio.
Nobody needs to hear this nonsense on Friday.
We're gonna fill a segment.
So, guys, I feel
like this could be 2 or 3 out of this.
I don't want to ask you guys the main question here, Carey. Let's just go in a different. Do you think you're talking about the Cardinals ownership group, or?
I mean, how many teams has Lance Lynn played for?
So, in fairness, he could have been talking about the White Sox.
Yeah, he could have been. Okay.
He's also played for the Rangers, the Twins, the Yankees.
Yes. We probably wasn't talking about the Yankees.
Yeah, highly doubt it.
We can scratch those guys off the list.
I don't think he would be referring to the Twins. I don't think so. I think the White Sox would be the closest one.
Okay. So
or maybe he's not talking about a team specifically that he's played for.
He's just saying in general, in all of his years of playing.
He's never played for the Mets. He commented on
professional baseball. He's seen it. He's seen guys, ownership groups not really put forth the effort that is required to win championships.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Players talk, Jamie. We have conversations with guys in other places, right? We know that there are some teams that are really trying, and then some that aren't. And you don't necessarily have to play for said team to know. I never played for the Browns or the Bengals. The Bengals didn't even have an indoor facility, Jamie. I knew that. It doesn't seem like they're trying. It was cold in Cincinnati in December and January. So he's possibly talking about any team, not the Cardinals.
Yeah, or he's specifically talking about a team he plays for currently. I mean, that's the other option.
Now, why would he do that, though?
Why would he do that?
He's never been brash before.
Maybe he wants things to change a little bit.
Well, change starts from within, so we can start with that.
Yeah.
If you're starting with trying to look at some teams to get better. So let's look in the mirror first.
So forget. Let's take Lance Lynn out of this equation. Do you guys think? And be fair here. Do you guys think that the Cardinals' current ownership group, the DeWitts, view this as a portfolio only? Because I don't.
So I don't. ... But look at everything everything else that they've owned, that they do own and have built surrounding Busch Stadium. It's part of their portfolio. It's not just in there, but the Cardinals baseball team and Busch Stadium bring a whole lot of traffic and a whole lot of stuff to Ballpark Village, Cardinal. One Cardinal Way, all that, none of that exists without the baseball team. So is it part of the portfolio or is it the vehicle to the portfolio? I'm not sure which one it is, but it doesn't suck for the DeWitt companies to have a major influence like the Cardinals baseball team to drive business into other things that they have there. Mm-hmm. So is it their number? Is it just part of their portfolio? No, I don't believe so. I think it's the biggest piece. So contrary to what Lance Lynn says about, it's just part of their, it's just a thing for them. No, it's the thing for them.
Yeah.
So none of the other entities exist without the Cardinals being there. Let's just be honest. If Ballpark Village was standalone, who the hell's going down there on a regular basis just to go to Ballpark Village?
Oh, the city is making improvement.
They are. They're trying. And this is not me against the city here. It's just a fact. If the Cardinals weren't down there or the Blues weren't down there or City SC, look at what's happened around City SC. Their soccer park, City Park. Mm-hmm. Maggie O'Brien's completely redid their entire place. It's beautiful over there now, but that's because they knew they were going to get the traffic from City SC. So there's always a reason. And the reason the DeWitts are having such success with Ballpark Village and all their ancillary things is because the Cardinals are there.
Yep.
So I don't view the Cardinals as just a piece of the pie. It is the majority of the pie, and all the other stuff is succeeding because of that.
Do you think that it is something where they are actually putting forth effort to win? Like, it can be a part of the pie, but as you said, there are other entities that you feed off of because of this large part of this pie. Do you feel like that the money or that there's a will, they're willing to put more money into that part of it to win a championship?
I think they're willing to. Or
do you think that they're just okay because this here is good enough because it allows us to have all of these other entities that do make us more money as well?
So I think what's happened last year and right now is not optimal for the DeWitt family. It's not, because they now have a product where lots of people are upset. It's being scrutinized heavily. People are not showing up to the ballpark like they did before. So this is not the model they wanted. Let's go back 2 or 3 years, though. That model they loved. Mm-hmm. They didn't have to spend all the way up with the big boys. Yeah. They were competitive in the playoffs, wild card team, people showing up to the ballpark because the team is playing meaningful games in October. That's the optimal formula.
Right.
Is you keep them coming back for more because the team's just good enough to always be competitive. And then they don't have to push all their chips into the middle and say, hey, we're going for Shohei Ohtani or whomever your hot free agent is at the time. Yep. So that to me, I think, is where right now, that's why there's a little bit of a sense of panic, is 2 years in a row of being completely subpar the way they are. That's not good for business either.
No, it's not. And unless they change some of their business approach, then you wonder if they're going to have a good enough product. Because the fan is the consumers are there. Like, if we want to go down this route, the consumers are there. Is your product going to be worth it? I don't care how big of a fan you are. You're not going to go down to the park and invest your money as a season ticket holder if the product stinks.
Correct.
Over time, I think fans are saying, okay, last year, maybe some fans are saying, it's an aberration. I'll be back, but you're in last place again. Nobody's going to go and support a loser and pack the stadium.
It's not fun, first of all.
No.
And it's expensive.
Yes.
Correct. Like, if you're going to throw some money around, you want a good memory.
Darn right you do.
And right now, you're throwing some money around and you're just like, you're expecting to leave the ballpark like, meh.
Right now, you want a lobotomy.
If they were a young team that played hard and played well, just weren't good enough to win, I think people would still show up. If you had hopes for what the future could be, you would have people showing up and taking in games. But when you show up, like, for example, if you were to show up late to a game that Miles Michaelis or Lance Lynn is starting, you could be down 3 to 4 runs before you get
over. You haven't even sat down.
I'm just saying that's what has happened the last few times they've pitched. Which, if you're a late arriver, as some people are, getting off work late, 5 p.m., game starts at 6:15.
This is why Brandon was so upset with you two.
I'm sorry.
I didn't say anything wrong.
I'm just saying,
Saw Carey.
If the game is out of hand, show up late, leave early, like, then you're just like, well, hell, I might as well not take this 20, 30-minute ride downtown and stay and watch it on TV. So
yeah,
I think you have to play well. I don't necessarily know. I think you would be okay if they were losing if they were younger and you just had young superstars or young guys that potentially could be superstars. I think that would be more exciting. But when you have guys, when you have 2 potential Hall of Famers in Goldie and Arenado, when you bring in, Matt Carpenter and Lance Lynn and say these guys are here because they need to restore the Cardinal way, and you're still 1 game better than you were at this time last year, what do you want people to believe and pay their money for?
No, that's a good question. It's a good question.
I asked it.
Very realistic question.
By the way, Paul Skeens is no longer in the game.
Is it still a no-hitter, though?
6 innings pitched, 0 hits, 0 runs, 0 earned, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts.
He was at 100 pitches.
Yeah. You got to get him out.
What a Pittsburgh thing to do, though.
Nah.
Now this guy's going to go in and blow it. What's his name? Let's blame him later.
I hope not for their sake. They're up 8-0.
Yeah, they got a snowman on the board, so I think they're...
No, he's going to blow the no-hitter.
No, it's already blown.
Oh, they already did.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I thought he still had no hits.
Nope. 1 hit.
Wait, he got a hit or the other guy coming in did?
The other guy that came in ended up giving up a hit.
Oh, my God. I'd fight that guy.
The Mets, was it not the Mets? Who was it the other day?
You, Anthony.
Against the Mets.
I would.
Your chest hair would be poofed way up.
No, it's a good call.
You'd be
The
pissed.
Braves. The Braves had a team no-hitter going on the other day and gave up a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 9th. They still won the game.
Disgusting.
I don't really care for team no hitters. It's not the same.
Talk to Johan Santana. He would have wished for a team no hitter. He got blown up and wasn't the same after his no hitter with the Mets. You remember that?
The fake no hitter?
No, he had a real no hitter.
That was fake.
It was real.
It counted, but it was fake.
Why was it fake?
Because
they got a base hit.
The Cardinals got a base hit, but they didn't care. They said it was foul ball.
And who was the other the pitcher that did have a no hitter and was
Armando Galarraga.
He had a perfect game.
Had a perfect game.
Yeah.
They should go back and amend that. It's not the same, but still.
It's unfair.
Life isn't fair, Carey.
This is true. That's why people are violent.
Wow.
Okay. I did not see.
I would have been violent to the umpire. I'm sorry.
My goodness, Carey.
I would have probably got kicked. Yeah, man. I don't know. He felt bad about it.
He felt terrible.
Yeah, well, make the right call. How much money is on the line? You throw a perfect game?
History.
People, it's going to be,
it's only.
I don't know if I want to go back and rewrite that because I feel like the whole thing about throwing a perfect game is what you feel in that moment. So, like, what are you going to go back and change it?
Yeah. I agree. What do you invite all your old teammates over and celebrate?
Yeah. I remember that time when I threw a perfect game and the umpire called him safe.
We're celebrating
he was out.
now.
Told me he changed it. Let's go, boys.
Go back to Comerica Park and just recreate it.
Invite fans for free.
Yeah.
Come on, let's
celebrate. But you got to pay for parking, any concessions.
The businessman speaks. All right, Sports Six Pack is next. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. You got a question, send it there. Sports Six Pack next in the Fast Lane.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cards take on the Red Sox tonight with Kyle Gibson on the mound. He's 2-2 with a 3.67 ERA. The Cardinals are looking to get back in the win column after dropping the last game of the series against the Angels on Wednesday. Tonight on 101 ESPN, we'll have Bruins and Panthers. Game 6. Pregame starts at 5:30. And at 4:15 after the Gauntlet, we will be joined by Jim Edmonds, so stay tuned for that. Coming up next, we have our Sports Six-Pack, so if you have a question you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Sports Six-Pack coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
With Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh with the Sports Six-Pack questions.
Question number 1.
All right, this one comes from the 314. Now that the Cardinals upset, quote unquote, the Angels, is the Mo and Marmol talks about them getting canned, is it over? I feel like St. Louis got excited for a minute, and like me, the 314, rooted for the Angels to sweep.
I don't think just because they took 2 of 3 from the Angels that there's talk that they're like
That they're safe?
Yeah.
I don't think so either.
Because I don't necessarily think that during the season they're going to do anything anyways.
Well,
you know what I mean?
You know what? I do agree with that. I was talking to Kevin Wheeler yesterday. I ran into him at the Quick Trip by my house, and he was saying, as a veteran manager, who would want to come in mid-season and take this crap over?
Oh, veteran manager? Yeah, they won't.
Like,
come on,
Francona.
Carey.
Like, why would he assign his name to them? Yeah, but you know, you got another chance to lose 90-plus games, and you're going to be attached to that?
I don't think there's going to be a mid-season change like that.
With that being the thought process, no. Why would you? Who are you going to get? It's going to be a younger coach. It's
Joe Madden's ready.
You think he would come into this nonsense?
I do.
With all the
I do. Joe Madden can't help
mess?
himself. Let's just be honest. Joe Madden, he loves the spotlight. He'd love to be here in St. Louis, and nothing more that he would love is to take over this team to where it has some decent pieces. And it probably, from the outside looking in, you go, you know what? Could probably sneak into the playoffs. Nothing more Joe Madden would like than to do that. Well, Carey, yourself, what, they're 2.5, 3 back? I'm telling you, Joe Madden.
There's 18 teams in front of him.
I don't even think there's 18 teams in the National League.
You are entitled to your opinion, okay? It's America. I'm not going to say you can't have an opinion.
Thank you, sir.
As wrong as it might be.
Wow.
Joe Madden would absolutely jump at the chance. Absolutely. He'd have to have some guarantees.
The Cardinals aren't going to make. They're not going to make any sudden moves here.
Not mid-season.
There's no urgency with this club.
They gave him an extension.
Anything that
they did do.
Any change that comes about, I think, is going to happen after the year. Just my opinion. This is the most information. No, this is the most risk-averse. This is the most risk-averse organization that you'll find. They're not going to make any sort of panic moves. They're not worried about. They're clearly.
You don't think it's time to panic? if you lose another 90 games, if you're headed toward losing another 90 games, you don't think that's.
I'm talking with the Cardinals.
Anthony's giving up, Carey.
I'm talking about the Cardinals viewpoint.
I'm gonna keep these glasses over here because he's clearly
giving up.
He's walking away. I
can tell your body language too. Yeah. You're deflated. You talk about the Cardinals. You sound like Mo all of a sudden. Like, my gosh.
Well, no, if he sounded like Mo, he'd have much more.
He's just got that voice of
I don't know what you guys are got going on, but
Oh boy.
No,
I mean, why?
Here's a guy coming into town, you know.
I mean,
Tyler O'Neill. Who? We got rid of that guy, right? You know why? Because we got better guys.
Did we?
Okay? We got better guys to man the outfield. You seen some of these guys? Yeah, you have.
All of them.
All of them.
We got about
doing
6 of
well.
them.
All of them collectively are better than one, right? Right? Yeah. If you put that, together, they are. So today starts anew. We won 2 out of 3 in Los Angeles. We'll win 2 out of 3 starting tonight.
Are you struggling right now, Carey? Like, you put the glasses on, but I don't feel...
It's coming. I got to see it again tonight, though. It'll happen. Marshy believes he got his Cardinal red on. He's ready to roll. He's got his Willie McGee jersey.
There may not be a game.
Don't say that.
It's clouding over.
You got to play.
That's Anthony's attitude leaking into the weather.
That is.
All
I
right.
think so.
You know, come on, Anthony. It's First Beer Friday. What do you want from me? They're not going to make any changes. You hear me lie to you?
They give
I'll
away
lie to
free
you.
beer. The first one. That's a change.
You want me to
You like it?
You want to lie to you guys? I will. Yeah, they're going to make changes. They're going to make all kinds of changes.
I don't like this attitude.
They're going to
Exactly.
No, I don't think
I'll
you're-
put these on
like
if you're going to do it.
No, he don't.
No,
He's allergic to those.
I can't do that.
You believe? Right?
No, I do. Hold on, let me try something here. Let me try something. You know, guys, at some point you have to support the players. You have to support the team. You can't just give up on your team. All right? You got to have hope, man.
You're not believable right now.
Thank you.
It's not.
I'm trying as well. I thought maybe putting the glasses on, I didn't feel the mojo when I put them on.
It felt wrong.
It felt dirty. Normally I get like, ugh.
Yeah,
like,
usually you like it.
Like the zoomies. But I didn't get
zoomies?
it.
You didn't have butterflies this time.
Nah, nothing. I was trying.
Yeah, it was flat. It was a flat performance.
It was very flat.
All right, we're going to
Kind of like
this is what we're going to do.
Watch from time to
Because we only answered one. We're going to get to the rest of the 5.
That was only one?
Yeah, we're going to clean up. We're going to clean up our attitude here. All right, especially Jamie, and we're going to answer the other 5 questions in the Sports Six Pack next on 101 ESPN.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six Pack is now.
All right, let's continue our Sports Six back here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. By the way, Jim Edmonds will join us coming up at 4:30 today. Cardinal Hall of Famer Jim Edmonds. 4:30.
Jimmy Ballgame.
Otherwise known as Jimmy Ballgame. All right, Marsh, hit us.
Question number 2.
All right, from the 636, yesterday I was on a plane flying from L.A. to St. Louis. I was sitting right by a big dude who was wearing a Super Bowl championship ring, had probably a $20K diamond bracelet on. The dude was obviously a successful football player. I did not recognize him. What would have been a non-invasive way of asking who he was or what team he was on? I was not trying to hide it, so part of me wanted to ask, but the nervous, scared side of me did not. He was a large dude. I did not want to tick him off.
How did he not recognize Carey Davis?
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness.
And Carey is...
In fairness.
With the ice that Carey rolls around wearing here? My
Like, you don't
goodness.
mess with Carey Davis, but he's also a lovable teddy bear, too, when you really get to know him.
He's a snuggly bugger.
Oh, man, yeah.
It wasn't me, fellas. I don't. I normally don't.
I'm just
travel with
wondering
my
how
ring
that
on.
guy got on the Cardinals plane when the team flew from L.A. to St. Louis.
Yeah. No.
Well, you're on the plane.
I actually wasn't. No, I wasn't.
That would be uncomfortable.
Yeah, for them.
That's what I mean.
Not for me.
You guys stink.
I think the best way to go about it is just to say, hey, what's that ring for? And generally, if I have my ring on, I'm usually wearing it at an event, and people ask, hey, what is that? Oh, it's a Super Bowl ring. And then you strike up a conversation that way. So normally, if a person has it on, they know that it's gaudy, and people are going to ask, what is it? It's normal. You're accustomed to it, and if you're wearing it, you're probably expecting someone to ask you what it is, or wanting someone to ask you what it is. So just simply ask, hey, what is that ring? What is that for? And then they'll go into their story about what it took to get it.
Yeah, most people, individuals, whether it's men or women, because women get them too, who are part of the organizations that win, they're fine with talking about their successes. People like talking about positive things in their life, as they should. So my recommendation was, when you approach somebody like that, just like Carey said, hey, man, that's a beautiful ring. Did you win it? Or, what's the story behind it? And then you let the individual say, well, hey, I played defensive end for the Pittsburgh Steelers or whatever it was, and we won this Super Bowl ring. Man, that's amazing. I wouldn't walk up and go, hey, man, is that a Steelers Super Bowl ring? Yeah, well, I hate you guys. I'm a Ravens fan. Like, that would be the way not to
Walk
go about
away.
it.
I will probably laugh. I just tell them, oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but it's not
Make better choices in
not
life.
the greatest way to approach it.
Yeah.
Probably not.
You should have stared at him for a long time
Until he got uncomfortable.
Until he got really
Hey,
uncomfortable.
you want to see my ring?
Yeah.
Whatever ring you have on, if you do.
It's a nice ring. Look at mine.
Right.
Something like that. Don't stare,
look at
though. Yeah, I'm good. That's a different ring.
What's wrong with you?
Pretty big, though.
I don't know what's wrong with it.
The ring is pretty big.
Go ahead, Marsh.
Wow. Question number 3.
From the 314.
Why?
I don't know. Get Mumsy on the line. Sorry, Andrew, go ahead.
I know she raised you right. What
She
happened?
did. I don't know what happened. My brother's fault.
Go ahead, Marsh.
From the 314. What did you guys think of the guy who cashed out his $1.7 million parlay? Did you see this?
Yeah, so he cashed out for $80K.
What was his original investment?
His original investment was $100.
Oh, my.
It was the Rangers winning the World Series, the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, and the OKC Thunder winning the NBA championship. He waited because the Thunder were up 2 games in their series. Then Dallas came back and they tied it.
Yep.
And he said to himself, if the Thunder won another game, because I think that the cash out went down to like $20K.
Yeah.
When it was tied 2-2. So he goes, if the Thunder win again and it gets up to $80K, he'll cash out. And that's exactly what happened. The Thunder won, came back. The cash out was $80K, and he cashed out. He's a single dad.
And he did
a lot of money, man.
Good for him because the OKC lost the next game.
Yes.
And so it probably goes down even more.
It would have crashed down again.
So
I don't think OKC is going to win it.
Probably
he
not.
turned listen, take a step back. He turned a $100 wager into an $80,000 payout.
That's pretty good return on investment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, buddy. It was up
30% of that.
Over 100,000 at one point.
At one point it was, yeah. Well, when they got up 2-0.
The first two games,
Yeah.
But you're probably feeling really confident at that point.
Sure.
They're going to win this series.
Yep.
Wait, no.
He made the right decision.
Yeah.
He made the right decision on that. Now, 30% of that's going to Uncle Sam, but
it's 30%. You didn't have that
nope.
a couple of months ago, so
good for him.
There you go.
I mean, to get that far, right? You got the Rangers winning the World Series. That was a really good roll of the dice. Chiefs, okay. Chiefs were probably favored when he did it, but whatever. No, I think that was wise investment.
Man, that's going to be tough, though. If
OKC wins it all, like that's...
No, you can't look at it that way.
You can't look at it like that, though.
Right.
You got to accept the
Can't look at
80K.
life like that, Andrew. Yeah. It's a bad way to do it.
Well, had he won, it'd be $1.7 million.
Because then you make bad decisions.
Then you stay in longer than you should.
That's right. And then usually things always turn the other way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's $100. Like you said, $100, you made $80,000.
Right.
What are we talking about?
And like I said, he's a single dad. He said it's a lot of money. Good for him. That's fantastic.
Question number 4.
From the 828, Jamie, what did you think of that charging penalty last night? I thought it was absolute garbage. I want a classy pro's opinion. Thank you, sir.
Well, I can only provide an opinion, not a classy pro's opinion.
You're asking
Carey,
the wrong guy.
I can insult myself. I don't like it when you do it, okay? However, I appreciate your participation so quickly. That was a terrible call. Elias Pettersson has the puck on the wall. The guy comes over to hit him, and he just reverse hits him. And the guy goes down, but because he kind of jumped a little bit at the end to hit, they called it a charging, which, like, the essence of the rule is the player has to be skating and then launching themselves into the air for it to be a charging. He was standing still and drilled the guy, but he kind of jumped up a little bit. It was a terrible call. It's a bad call. If it was the middle of November, it's a horrible call.
Yeah.
In the Stanley Cup playoffs, it's absolutely disgusting that referees called that.
Mm-hmm.
He should be fired.
No.
From the rest of the playoffs.
Well, that's a little nicer.
You want the best of the best doing these games,
I don't disagree with you there.
Can't have guys that make mistakes like that. I mean, what if that impacted the entire game and then the Canucks lose because of a horrible call? If I'm Gary Bettman, you just can't have that happen.
Yeah.
Bad call.
Question number 5.
This one's from the 314. What do you think about the NBA and all these teams with the big three and not being able to win championships? I think it's great. It shows that it takes more than just 3 people. Please, 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 I want to get Action Jackson's reaction to this question. Oh, wait. This was for earlier today. Is Action Jackson here? I know he usually wants to be a part of the show when we talk about NBA.
Anytime, it's funny about Action Jackson. Anytime that we start talking NBA, we have got windows here.
He just kind of
he does show up.
He turns into a glass fogger.
Yep. He starts to peer in, or he starts to pace back and forth,
hoping we bring him in.
And we will. We absolutely will.
No, we won't.
Sure, we can bring Jackson in.
Yeah, it's 6:05.
I love Action Jackson.
6:05. You guys can talk NBA.
He's a positive kid, man.
He's a
great guy. Always comes into the office with a smile on his face.
I will.
Very encouraging.
Yes,
supportive.
He's
great
a
guy.
Dude.
I will say about the big 3 scenario with teams trying to recapture what the Miami Heat did. They had one of the top 3 greatest players of all time. That helps. Like when you got LeBron James,
Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, I was going to say Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne
Chris Bosh.
No.
Oh, you're talking about management. Pat Riley.
Excellent coach.
He's an excellent coach and front office guy. But no, LeBron James. And I notice I said not number 1, but top 3. I put him in that range. It makes life easier when you have a big 3. It's not easy when you get 3 guys from, all over the place. We've seen Kevin Durant do it a couple of times. Not worked out well.
No.
We've seen James Harden try it. Not worked out well. So I think, at some point that big 3 motto is going to go away because you spend so much money on those 3 players that your bench takes a hit where you're not able to have the success that you would like to have. You can't win games with just 3 guys and really only playing 5 or 6. You got to have some guys on the bench that can give you some minutes, give you some fouls if need be, rebounds, play some good defense, and maybe knock down a 3. And that's what these teams are lacking when they spend so much money on those guys.
True that.
Thank you.
Question number 6.
That's for you, Jamie.
From the 636.
I'm waiting. For the NBA? Oh, yeah. Hang on, I got more to offer.
Sorry, Marsh.
What type of ovation does Tyler O'Neill get tonight?
A standing ovation.
I was going to say it's
A
standard.
round of applause.
A standing ovation.
Do you think people are standing up for Tyler O'Neill?
Are you kidding me?
Yes. If they do, if they stand up for Tyler O'Neill to give him an ovation, it is not for Tyler O'Neill. It is to fulfill their own need as the best baseball fans in the world. It's selfish. It's not authentic.
That's Jamie Rivers.
It is. I don't care. I'll put my name on it.
Rivers.
Well, what should I do?
Sit on your hands.
Should I half-ass it?
No. You got to stand.
One
Marsh.
hand clap.
I mean, it would be on brand.
How do you do that?
Wow. What do you feel like doing? What does your heart tell you?
I'll stand up.
There
give
you
him
go.
a clap.
Oh my God, I'm disgusted.
Depends on if I have
What kind of clap?
my first beer in my right hand. I might not be able to clap.
That's different, Jamie. No, are you gonna like a slow, like kind of
Yeah, I'll be like, yeah.
Okay,
Golf
so
clap?
kind of a dismissive
Like a
clap.
golf clap.
Like, I don't really want to do this, but
yeah, I
I'm
don't
going to
know.
slow clap and try to get
You know
everybody
what
to
I'm
pick it
going to
up.
do? I'm going to feel what the vibe in the stadium is. If everyone is up and they're like, yeah, I'll be like, you know what, yeah.
Okay. All right. Can't wait to see that tonight on TV.
I wouldn't stand.
Here's another question.
You should stand.
So we know Albert Pujols, he hit a home run as an Angel before he came back, and everyone gave him a standing ovation.
What's Albert freaking Pujols?
Exactly. If Tyler O'Neill hits a home run against the Cardinals this weekend, I wonder what the reaction will be.
Free beer throwing at him.
I hope he sprints around the bases when he hits home.
He always does.
He always
I
does
hope
that.
he is running full throttle. If he hits a home run and just guns it
Carey.
around third, then I would definitely stand up and clap for him.
That level of trolling, I would too.
I would stand up. He should literally,
I'd
if
have
he
to
hits a home
respect it.
run, hit third base and just gun it.
Yeah.
Just go.
What if he hit third base and then started walking? Sprinted around the bases and then hits third base and just jogs home.
Here's the play.
You got to sprint.
He hits a bomb. He sprints, right? He crosses home plate.
Pulls a
Then
hamstring.
blows a hamstring.
Come on. I thought you were going to say no into the dugout.
Actually, the major troll would be him rounding second to third, acting like he's grabbing his hamstring a little bit, and then and then keep going fast. Wow!
I'll be honest, I gotta
I'm looking for
appreciate
that now.
it. Yeah.
Any one of them. I'm
That
okay
level
with
of trolling, I'm good
any
with.
of it.
That's actually like a celly that some players do in football where they get into the end zone and they'll like grab their hamstring and they'll start doing like
Yeah, they
the
just
stanky leg.
Yeah, sure.
Or they'll start to gritty. Do a little gritty.
Yep, that's a good one too. All right, it's Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN. You know, Jamie, whenever we're talking to our 101 ESPN listeners about our guy Stewie, he always wants to make sure that they know that they can reach out to him at any point. He wants that old school customer experience for people. He knows how lousy the customer service experience is for, a lot of companies these days. But what he does is he hands out his personal cell phone number because he wants you to call him and not sit on hold, or hell, you can even text him if you want. But he wants to save you money over the course of your loan. So whatever you're doing, whether you're purchasing a home, whether you're trying to consolidate some debt, or you just want information about where the Federal Reserve is heading, call or text our guy, Stewie.
Yeah, again, that personal customer service is what you're looking for, as well as great ideas and solutions to your problems. And Stewie has created the Bagel Loan, where you borrow $200,000 or more, and there's no underwriting fees, no appraisal fees, no title fees, no lender fees, no closing costs, and you can close in as quick as 10 to 14 days, and that's because Stewie is trying to continuously help people achieve their financial goals, no matter what they are. And that, again, falls under the customer service umbrella. So please take the time to call Stewie and ask him any question. Tell him that Anthony and Jamie sent you in there. His number is 314-324-4440.
Again, that number is 314-324-4440.
If you can't remember that number, Anthony, what can you do?
You can always Google the Bagel Loan.
NMLS number 226715.
The Missouri Coalition for Roadway Safety is asking us all to show me zero. Show me zero crashes caused by impaired or distracted drivers. Show me zero injuries caused by being unbuckled or driving too fast. All of this leads to zero fatalities on our roads. Put your phone down while you drive, buckle up, drive the speed limit, and never drive impaired. Because our roads can only be safe when everyone on them is safe. Stay safe, Missouri. Show me zero.
Four warriors, four categories, one challenger. Can you master the Gauntlet?
The Gauntlet is powered by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit mastor.com.
Time for the Gauntlet here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. 4:05, your time check, brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Andrew Marsh always does a great job telling us who the Gauntlet contestant is, if you're listening.
Yeah, it's Jimmy.
Jimmy! What's up, Jimmy? How are you?
Good. How you doing, fellas?
Good. We even had a thing when you said Jimmy. We were like, oh, Jimmy Ball Game. He's on the...
That's it.
Yeah, 4:30. Then I forgot again.
It's okay.
Jimmy, how are you, man? Everything good?
It's all good.
All right. First time in the Gauntlet?
Yes, sir. Been trying for a while. My daughter got me on.
Well, good. Your daughter got you on?
Yeah, Stella.
Hey, Stella?
Stella, you said?
Yes.
All right. Shout out to Stella.
Good
All
job.
right. Jimmy, would you like to take on Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, or me in your first ever Gauntlet experience?
Stella wants me to take on Anthony.
Hey.
Oh, okay. All right.
Let's go.
You get out of here.
Good luck to you, Jimmy.
Hey, good luck to you.
I hope you like hockey.
All right, Anthony's making his way to the Cone of Silence. While he's doing that, Jimmy, tell DJ Marsh to spin the wheel.
DJ Marsh, spin that thing.
All right, so what do you want as a category today? I mean, it's probably going to be hockey because that's Anthony, but what else?
Hockey.
You want hockey? Wow. You know what? For the first time in a long time, it's not hockey, Jimmy. You got football today.
That'll do.
All right. You confident in your football knowledge?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. All right, well, while we're getting the questions passed around here, CD's fumbling around here. No offense for the fumble, CD.
Davis on the fumble.
Whoa. It's flashbacks of things he hates.
It's okay.
All right. Each question's worth 2 points. If you use the options and answer correctly, it's worth 1 point. And the wrong answer, of course, is 0 points. If you're tied, we'll go to a tiebreaker. And no matter what, we'll get a winner here today in the Gauntlet. Jimmy, you ready?
Ready.
All right, again, football is your category. Question number 1. Which NFL team won the only overtime game in last season's postseason?
Can you repeat that? You break it up pretty bad.
Well, okay. Which NFL team won the only overtime game in last season's postseason? So in the playoffs.
The Super Bowl count?
Well, is it the playoffs?
The Chiefs.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 2. The game that earned the nickname the greatest game ever played was an NFL championship game in 1958 where Johnny Unitas led which team to a 23-17 win over the New York Giants?
It's a little bit before my time, but I'm going to have to go with the Baltimore Colts.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 3. How many Super Bowls have gone to overtime in NFL history?
The options. I know it's going to be 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to shoot. I'm going to go 4.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, Jimmy, last question. Name all 3 teams the Bills lost to when they fell in 4 consecutive Super Bowls in the 80s.
The Cowboys twice, the Giants, and the Redskins. Final answer.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's get Anthony Stalter back in here.
Jimmy, how you feel?
I feel pretty good.
Okay.
All right. I like that. Anthony's taking his sweet time. I don't know if he's focusing or scared. I'm not sure.
He's scared.
Like it.
Good thing you didn't hear that. Now he's plugging his ears in. Anthony, how are you?
Good.
Pretty lonely in that cone of silence, huh?
It was. It was very lonely.
It's mostly lonely here on Fridays. I don't know what happens on Fridays. Not a lot of people around here.
They're working hard at home.
Yeah. Oh, I never said they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
But you brought it up.
Hurricanes.
No.
No.
Football today.
Yeah.
What? You got foosball.
And pack a lunch.
All right.
No.
Maybe a snack, too.
Pack a lunch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony, here we go. Football. Question number 1. Which NFL team won the only overtime game in last season's postseason?
What NFL team won the only overtime in last season's postseason? Well, that had to have been the Kansas City Chiefs, who beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Those the Chiefs.
Final answer?
Yep.
Question number 2. The game that earned the nickname the greatest game ever played was the NFL championship game in 1958, where Johnny Unitas led which team to a 23-17 win over the New York Giants?
The Baltimore Colts. Final answer?
Question number 3. How many Super Bowls have gone to overtime in NFL history?
2. Final answer.
Jesus.
Well, the one I hate, and then there's last year.
Which one do you hate?
And why is that?
Okay, you know what's unnecessary?
Because the Patriots beat the Falcons 28-3.
Hey, it's unnecessary. Can we let him stay focused here?
Sorry.
Question 4. Name all 3 teams the Bills lost to when they fell in 4 consecutive Super Bowls in the 80s.
Name all.
That should be
all 4 teams.
All three teams.
All three teams,
Yeah, 'cause
the
they
4
lost
losses.
And that should be 90s.
Yeah, 80s, 90s. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
90s. Right.
worded a little. It's a carryover there.
Yeah, so they lost to the Giants. That was the wide right game. They lost to the Washington Redskins, and they lost to the Dallas Cowboys twice. So Cowboys, Redskins, Giants. Final answer.
All right.
They lost to the NFC East minus the Eagles.
We already said final answers.
Okay.
We appreciate the extra there. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you for guys.
Let's go over this. Question 1. Which NFL team won the only overtime game in last season's postseason? Jimmy, you said the Chiefs. Anthony, you said the Chiefs. Answer is
The Kansas City Chiefs. Sorry.
neither of you needed the
Your
options.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Thank you, Carey.
There you go.
2-2 after 1. The game that earned the nickname the greatest game ever played was the NFL Championship in 1958, where Johnny Unitas, old bow-legged Johnny Unitas, led which team to a 23-17 win over the New York Giants? Jimmy, you said the Baltimore Colts. Anthony, you said the Baltimore Colts. Marshy, answer is
It is the Baltimore Colts.
neither of you needed the options. 4-4 after 2. Let's go to question 4. Name all 3 teams the Bills lost to when they fell in 4 consecutive Super Bowls in the 80s/90s. Jimmy, you said the Giants, Redskins, and Cowboys twice. Anthony, you also said the Giants, Redskins, Cowboys twice. Carey, answer is
It is the Giants, Redskins, and Cowboys twice.
neither of you needed the options.
Wow.
6-6 after
Jimmy,
3.
nice job, man.
Comes down to the final question. How many Super Bowls have gone to overtime in NFL history? Jimmy thought about the options. Then he said, no, I'm going to take a shot at this. Said 4. Anthony, you were very quick. Like quicker than you usually are. And that's quick.
Yeah.
You said 2.
Thanks, Jamie. Yeah, I got stuff to do.
If Anthony's right, he wins. If Jimmy's right, he wins. If they're both wrong, we got a walk-off here today. Jimmy.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose. Not today.
It was 2. Anthony got you today. Anthony ran the table. 8-6, Jimmy.
No, I don't know. I was thinking. I got nerves got me.
That was epic. And you know what? If my stupid team wasn't the first one to lose, I wouldn't have. I may have guessed wrong. So it was loaded for me, unfortunately. But Jimmy, that was a hell of a battle, man. Nice job.
Nice job to you.
Thanks, man.
Jimmy.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend, Jimmy.
We're going to crush some freshies at our graduation party and out of a dunk.
Oh, nice. Excellent, man. Well, hey, have a good time. Be safe. Have fun. And I hope you get another shot at the Gauntlet, man.
We'll try.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
See you, bud.
See ya.
Anthony, what a job by you today.
You know,
Wow.
I mean, he was like,
Ran it, huh? Nice little Tyler O'Neill golf clap for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would give Anthony a bigger ovation than Tyler O'Neill.
Thanks,
Wow.
Jamie.
I've got you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, good job.
One pitch, one zone, you know.
Yeah.
It's great.
C-ball, hit ball.
C-ball, hit ball. Baseball, it's an easy game, you know?
Is it?
No, typically not.
I think so.
It's very difficult.
We get a text from 314 says, you asked some of those football questions not long ago, especially the Bills question. First of all, we don't remember yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
I don't know what's coming up next.
I never do.
Think about this segment. Marsh literally told me the Gauntlet, our contestant was Jimmy, and I forgot within 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Might have been even 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Didn't know what happened a week ago.
We do have another Jimmy joining us at 4:30.
That's right. Jimmy Ballgame. Jim Edmonds will join us. Bottom of the hour, 4:30. You can't blame the Cardinals for trading Tyler O'Neill. We're going to play that game next here on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey, and I want to tell you about the good folks over at Scrap Mart Metals. If you're a contractor or you own a business that needs recycling, you need to learn more about Scrap Mart Metals. They are tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. Scrap Mart Metal understands that job site cleanup can be a mess for contractors. If you set up a business account with Scrap Mart to recycle that metal, it's one less thing you have to do during cleanup. You'd be amazed at how scrap metals add up and how it can help your business's cash flow. If you own heavy equipment, you know it's frustrating. Often the repairs are there over and over again. At some point, it's going to be time to end your suffering, and you're going to have to get rid of that equipment. Scrap Mart will come and haul it out of your way, and they will take it to one of their locations and get you a check the same day. Or you can haul it yourself to one of their convenient locations, Valley Park, Peebly, or Jonesburg. If it's metal, they will buy it. Copper, wire, brass, stainless steel, aluminum, batteries, electric motors, steel, cast iron, and so much more. It's recycling made easy. So reach out to them today at scrapmartmetals.com. My guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account. That's scrapmartmetals.com, and tell them Carey sent you.
So we're going to have some fun with the You Can't Blame the Cardinals for segment, and we will do that. We're going to do that for the biggest question of the day coming up at 5 o'clock. But we do have some breaking news here, and it is news that we discussed earlier in the show, so we weren't avoiding it or anything like that. In fact, we're thrilled for our guy Craig Berube, who officially now will be the head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He will be hold on here. Randy just sent me this. Let me get the actual figure. 32nd head coach. 32nd head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I've seen 32nd, 35th, 41st.
Randy!
So I have no idea. I was about to bring it up. You brought that up, and I had no idea Randy texted that to you. I was about to say the media can't even figure out what coach he is at the Leafs.
Either way, he's the next head coach is what he is. So congratulations to our guy, Craig Berube. So now the question is, Jamie, he takes over a talented team, but one that has been rudderless and one that previous head coaches couldn't figure out. And you had mentioned earlier that the Maple Leafs are about to get a rude awakening.
Yep.
In a good way.
Yeah, it's in the best possible way. Look, that team has been a country club. Mm-hmm. It has been. You know, Mike Babcock was there, and he was way over the top. Way over the top, and the players didn't trust him, especially after the Mitch Marner incident where he outed him to the rest of the team. It wasn't a great thing. So then they brought in Sheldon Keefe, who was a great young hockey mind. I just feel like he was a little over his skis with some of those guys that turned into superstars under his watch. It's tough to come in and demand more and push guys like Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner when they're making $11 to $14 million a year, and they are the team. You're not. You're Sheldon Keefe, where people are still like, who? Which isn't fair to him, but just the way it is. Craig Berube going in there is perfect. Chief was a Maple Leaf, so the fan base and the media know what they're getting as far as an individual. Never mind that he was a fighter and all that stuff. Like, people always remember, oh, he's going to come in here and he's going to... No. What did he do with this team? He developed some pretty good young talent and won a Stanley Cup by blending a team together that was in shambles at one point during the season. Craig Berube is reporting he signed a 4-year deal, so congrats to Chief for the 4-year deal. I'm sure it's pretty good money. Maple Leafs are kind of like the New York Yankees of the hockey world. They got plenty of money to go around, so congrats to Chief. But I just think he's the right mind for that group right now. Like Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, William Nylander, they have to be pushed outside of their comfort zone. They do. And the one knock on Chief as his tenure was ending here, and not from me, and I'm not saying directly from some players, but he was hard on guys. He demanded a certain level of effort day in and day out, and that's just the rules. Whether you're the fourth liner or you're a megastar, nothing changes from the expectations standpoint. So I think Craig Berube is the guy for the job. I think that they will make some roster changes for Chief. He's going to come in there and look at this roster and go, guys, this isn't a winner. You know it's not. So what can we do to move a piece or two here to give this team more balance? Because Craig Berube loves a good defensive team. He loves a heavy forecheck, good defensive team, puck possession. Well, the Leafs already have pretty good puck possession numbers. They're a very talented group. They were pretty good on the forecheck last season, and that'll continue. But the back end was deficient. So what will the Maple Leafs, one, be able to do, and what will they want to do when it comes to the offseason? And they also have to look at goaltending. Joseph Woll was great for them this year. He got hurt a couple of times there, unfortunately in the playoffs as well. So he'll be a guy competing for the number one spot, but the other guy's got to go. There's no way you can retain that other Samsonov. You can't have him as your other goalie. So we'll see what Chief says about that and with Brad Treliving and all that. I think it's going to be interesting to watch it.
It's good for him. I mean, I'm happy for him. He obviously kind of got to get the short end of the stick here with being fired for things that he did his best, and he had no control over some of the things that took place, and he was fired for it. So get another opportunity. I wonder, Jamie, how is he going to be for like a guy like Austin Matthews, like a guy that he hasn't had that level of player when he was here? Is that correct?
But you know what he has had? Teammates that were just as good as him.
Yeah.
He played with Jágr. He played with Eric Lindros. He played with superstars in his career. So he knows what it takes.
What makes him tick.
I'm going to go back a little bit. Steve Yzerman, I've said this before, Anthony, and maybe you've heard me say it too, Carey. I'm not sure. But Steve Yzerman was one of the top goal scorers in the NHL. And the Red Wings were no good in the playoffs. They never were able to do anything. And then Scotty Bowman got hired in Detroit. And Scotty Bowman looked at Steve Yzerman and said, do you want to win scoring titles or do you want to win Stanley Cups?
Right.
Because he said, if you want to win scoring titles, we're just going to continue the way we are. But if we want to win Stanley Cups, I need more from you.
Yeah.
I need better defense. I need more leadership from you. And so Steve Yzerman, being a competitive dude, he says, I want to win Stanley Cups. So if you look at Steve Yzerman's numbers over his career, they dropped slightly. Yeah. He's still such an elite player. It didn't affect him tremendously, but it dropped slightly. And then Steve Yzerman, during their cup runs, was the centerman that ended up playing against every team's top line in the playoffs. So kind of like Robert Thomas this year, imagine, a couple more years, 3 more years down the road, what that might look like.
Right.
So that's what Chief is going to do. He's going to challenge the best players that they have to outplay the other team's best players. And if they can't do that, he's going to let them know you're getting beat by that guy.
Right.
What if Chief wins the Stanley Cup in Toronto within these next 4 years? What is the narrative here in St. Louis?
Well, the roster wasn't good enough. And I don't think that's even a narrative. I think it's a fact. I think Doug Armstrong basically said that. And it just goes back to you can't get rid of all the players. You just can't. So what's the only way you can subtly make a change? And what's the only way you know for sure about what's going wrong? You fire the coach. Firing Craig Berube wasn't a move because he thought Craig Berube couldn't coach. It was a move to see, what would this roster do? How would they respond? And then are the players still the same players afterwards?
I'm assuming a lot of St. Louis fans would be upset, though.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm talking how we feel about certain players moving away from the Cardinals and finding success. I feel like it'd be in the same conversation.
Would they be upset with the players that were here?
No. Well,
maybe a little bit of both. Maybe the players and Doug Armstrong.
I don't think you would be upset with Doug Armstrong. What other choice did he have?
Yeah, what do you do? The team keeps losing.
But he built the roster.
So you would
be upset at him for that, but not firing him.
Yeah, for not firing him. Yeah, I agree with that.
But I think one thing leads to the other.
And then
I agree, but it was already too late for that.
Yeah, it was.
The roster's already done.
Yeah, they tried.
One thing I would be on the lookout for, and I hope it doesn't happen, but one thing I would be on the lookout for is for the Toronto Maple Leafs to make a massive push to acquire Jordan Binnington.
I thought you were going to say Jordan Kyrou.
Well, no.
Have him.
Probably not.
It would cost big time. He's such a...
I don't know if you are aware of what the possibility of the relationship was between said head coach and said player.
Oh, it's changed. Kyrou's changed.
Yeah. No, but I would honestly be on the lookout for Jordan Binnington to be acquired by the Leafs.
What are they going to get?
I don't like that.
Chase yourself.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
If the Blues are looking to get a player, like I'm sure that...
Austin Matthews.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm just telling you guys, the Maple Leafs need a goalie desperately. Craig Berube absolutely loves Jordan Binnington. Just telling you.
It's going to hurt Toronto.
Yeah, it will.
What are you willing to give up? Our guy has a Stanley Cup win.
They'd probably say we're willing to give up William Nylander or Mitch Marner.
Okay.
That's a start. That's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. Jim Edmonds is going to join us next. We'll talk a little hitting with Jimmy Ballgame here on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals take on the Red Sox tonight with a first pitch of 7:15. We are going to be joined by Cardinal Hall of Famer Jim Edmonds, so stay tuned for that. That's coming your way next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Super Bowl champion Carey Davis, former Blues defenseman Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the 101 ESPN Celebrity Line. We're joined by Cardinals Hall of Famer Jim Edmonds. Jimmy Ballgame. How you doing, Jim?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good, buddy. We know we're going to get you in and out as quick as possible. We got the young guy that's got a baseball game today?
Well, yeah, they were supposed to start at 4, so I was going to watch him lead off, and then I was going to head to work, but they're in a rain delay, and so now I'm standing here staying as late as I can to see if he's going to hit or not.
All right,
so he's supposed to start at like 4:45.
All right, well, we'll get you up before that. But so he's batting leadoff. What kind of qualities are you looking for in your leadoff hitter, Jimmy?
I just want him to be healthy and be able to have some good at-bats, and whatever the results are, they are. I don't really care. They don't really, what's really funny is they don't scout high school like they used to. It's all about summer ball now, and most of the scouts go down into Atlanta area and down south and watch down there. So he's actually standing in front of me right now waiting for the game to start.
Well, I hope he has a great game, bud.
Jim, I was listening to the broadcast a couple of games ago, and you mentioned how frustrated you were when guys took strike 3 looking. What is the approach, and can you just talk about that approach that they should have at the plate, when there's 2 strikes on them, trying to not strike out looking?
Well, I think there's a couple of things, right, when it comes to striking out looking. I think that, I learned from Rod Carew that I would go back and say, man, I got to be a nasty slider. He's like, yeah, but you took a fastball right down the middle. And that's kind of more of the situation with some of these guys, right? They're taking a lot of fastballs, a lot of strikes. Usually strike 3 is already too late. You've already gotten in a situation where you're, in a bad count. You're getting the pitcher's best pitches. So I'm more concerned with certain guys. Not certain guys. I'm just saying if I was a hitting coach or any hitting coach, I don't want to see guys taking fastballs down the middle and be ready to hit from pitch 1.
Jimmy, there's a lot to unpack this year with the Cardinals offensively, but I think for me, when I watch the games, look, I'm a big Paul Goldschmidt fan, but obviously his game offensively has suffered so far this season. Is there anything that you're seeing that looks maybe a little abnormal for Paul Goldschmidt this year?
Yeah, he fixed it. To be honest with you, he came over to the house for a few days, and we talked and went over some things, just kind of give him a different angle of what I see versus what he's trying to deal with while he's at work with, their hitting coaches dealing with 25 guys. And so he doesn't get the chance to hit for hours and hours and hours. So we sat down and kind of talked about a balance is so important, and how he wasn't getting balance, and he was trying to work on some things, and his finish was a little weird. I said, don't worry about your finish. Keep your balance, stay back, and just try, work on just getting back to hitting the ball, basics again. And I think when you lose your balance, you really don't realize it because your feet, nobody looks down at your feet. Everyone looks at your hands and your body and see if you're doing certain things, but usually everything comes from your feet.
Jim Edmonds joining us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jim Dunk used to always say you can't put a good swing on a bad pitch. How much of the Cardinals' issues offensively right now are coming within the batter's box and not recognizing certain ways that the pitcher is attacking them?
I don't really know if that's the case. I think, like I said, if I was to critique anything, I would think that a lot of it has to do with taking strikes, taking fastballs in certain situations. I think that when you're in a situation with a guy on third and nobody out, 1 out, they should be ready to hit. And that's just general philosophy that I learned as I was a young player. So I see a lot of that at times. I see a lot of bad luck. I see Goldie goes through a bunch of stuff and he works hard, and then he goes out there after, spending 3 hours in the cage, and he hits a line drive right to the right fielder. So that's the kind of crap. When you're going bad, you're going bad. And there's really no philosophy to hitting. So it's really not the hitting coach's philosophy that's the problem. It's just a group as a whole feeling their way through at bats that I think instead of just being super aggressive.
Jim, the big story, I guess, this series is going to be Tyler O'Neill coming back. He's had a really good start to the year. What have you seen from him, and are you surprised about what he's been doing so far?
No, I'm not surprised. He hit with me in the winter, and I think he's made some big changes in his swing, and he's healthy. Yeah. And I just think he's a great athlete. So, yeah, I'm not really surprised at all of what he's doing. And like I said, he worked the last couple of winters on trying to stay up the middle and staying on the ball, and I think he's doing that this year and doing a lot better than he's been in a long time.
Jimmy, when you look at the Cardinals right now offensively for the season, and you talk about, sometimes it's just bad luck and things aren't going your way, can we expect things to turn around?
I think so, because I think hitting is kind of contagious, kind of like, when you're playing well in hockey, guys, keep playing for each other and keep doing that, and then if you're losing, you get, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, Jamie, but I know a lot of bad teams have, like, here we go again mode, right? Like, Sky has a bad first inning, and you're like, oh, here we go again. And that's contagious, too. And I think that, you can go both ways with that. And you see, like, that last road trip we were just on, about the second game of Milwaukee, they started to believe, they started to hit, they started to feel for it a little bit. And then I don't know what it was, but it was a couple days in a row of 10 hits and scored some runs. And so that's contagious, too. But this is the big leagues, and you're going to run into a guy that's throwing 99 to 100 miles an hour with sink, and you really don't have a whole lot of choices that day. So that's kind of the biggest issue right now. I think the pitching is just so much better. Guys are throwing so much harder. And kind of the craziest thing I learned this last week is the fastball velocity is up, and the amount of fastballs thrown is way down. So guys are pitching backwards. They're starting to learn that they can't just throw fastballs without reckless abandon, and because they're getting hit all over the place.
A couple more things for Jim Edmonds here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jim, you had mentioned a couple of times you're working with various hitters. If you were to work with Jordan Walker at this point, how would you help the youngster?
I would go back to where he was when he first got here and try to get him not to drive the ball in the air, and I just try to get him to hit the ball and stay balanced. I think when they try to change him to hit the ball in the air, he's collapsing his backside. He's not using his front leg to hit off of, and he's down to a knee trying to pull balls in the air. And I just think that's just he's too big and strong to try to do anything. And the thing about hitting is you can't try to lift the ball. It's all about where the bat hits the ball. It has nothing to do with your legs other than maybe getting your knee down in there a little bit. But you can't just pre-lift before contact.
Jim, I want to get your opinion quickly on Victor Scott, what you saw from him from a center field position. You played the position extremely well. What did you see from him defensively?
I thought he played good. I really did. I thought he played well. I think he's quick. He can run. He's smart. And I thought he's got a great chance to play the outfield, but I think he really has a long way to go hitting. I think he's a good athlete, can run and do things. But, the biggest thing up here versus what they see down there is the execution of pitches, right? Like, you don't see 1-0 changeups and 2-0 changeups and sliders in the minor leagues, not even in AAA. So when you get up here and guys know you can't hit a breaking ball, you're going to get a handful of breaking balls. And if you can't hit the ball inside, you're just going to get fastballs inside. And advanced scouting is 50 times more aggressive, and the pitchers don't miss. So they expose your weaknesses within 2 or 3 days, and then other teams see that, and it just carries on. So you have to make adjustments day in and day out at this level, or year in and year out. What you did to get here is never going to work over the next couple of years. You have to make adjustments.
Jim, we want to respect your time. We know you're out at your son's ball game. Thank you for joining us and shedding such great insight when it comes to the offense.
Oh, I appreciate it, and thanks for calling. And J-Mo, good to hear from you, brother.
Likewise, brother. You take care, man.
All right, talk to you later.
See ya. Thank you. It's the great Jimmy Ballgame, Jim Edmonds. Let's get into some of the things he said.
He said some things.
He said some things, especially that Carey was shooting daggers at us because he's been saying the same thing about Jordan Walker that Jim just relayed. That's next on 101 ESPN. Some great stuff from Jim Edmonds, who just joined us. Talk a little Cardinal hitting. And at one point, after I asked him about Jordan Walker and what he would do to help the youngsters down in Memphis, as Jimmy Ballgame was talking, I looked at Carey Davis, and Carey was shooting daggers at me because he has talked a lot about what Jimmy Ballgame said about Jordan Walker.
I would go back to where he was when he first got here and try to get him not to drive the ball in the air, and I just try to get him to hit the ball and stay balanced. You know, I think when they try to change him to hit the ball in the air, he's collapsing his backside. He's not using his front leg to hit off of, and he's down to a knee trying to pull balls in the air. And I just think that's just he's too big and strong to try to do anything. And the thing about hitting is you can't try to lift the ball. It's all about where the bat hits the ball. It has nothing to do with your legs other than maybe getting your knee down in there a little bit. But you can't just pre-lift before contact.
So, we get the texters that say, stick to football, Carey. You don't know what you're talking about. I didn't play professional baseball, right? Jim Edmonds.
Neither did Jamie.
That's true.
Jim Edmonds is a Gold Glove, Cardinal Hall of Famer, baseball player, done a great job. I also heard two guys, I don't know if you heard of these guys, Alex Rodriguez and Albert Pujols. They got exactly 1,399 home runs between the two of them.
That's it, huh?
Both of them said, you don't work on launch angle. You work on what Jim Edmonds says, driving the baseball. Mm-hmm. And eventually, based on where the ball is hit on the bat, where you hit the ball, it will go out of the ballpark. The Cardinals and the notion that you have to have a certain launch angle to hit a home run. If two guys that have hit 1,300 home runs between the two of them can tell you that that's not how you hit a home run, why in the hell wouldn't you listen to them? Why wouldn't you listen to the guys that have done it at the highest level when they tell you that's not true? That's not right at all. Because what they're trying to do and what they have effectively done is, as Jim said, this young man had a 12-game hitting streak to start. He's beating it into the ground. He hitting the ball 100 and some miles an hour. The exit velo is amazing. It's not ideal, but he is getting hits. When he went down to the minors last year, they asked him, well, what did you change? Nothing. Came back up and was hitting the ball fine. But the notion that you have to bend, and you watch Jordan Walker when he was here, you see him. He's not dropping down to a knee, literally trying to lift the ball in the air instead of just hitting the baseball as hard as he can and finding a hole somewhere on the field. That's frustrating for me. And that, to me, sounds like people don't know what the hell they're talking about. I ain't played baseball since I was in the 8th grade. But I do listen to people that have played it at a high level, and I think you should listen to the ones that have done it to the best of their ability. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying, and that drives me crazy.
Can I add to that?
Yes, sir.
I think what you're saying is 1,000% correct. Okay. I think though that like launch angle, when you're talking about launch angle, you're actually talking about physics. So there's a certain degree. There's certain launch angle coupled with how hard you hit the ball, mm-hmm. where the ball will go out of the park. So, like, that's one part of it. So when they say his launch angle is off in order to hit home runs, they're not wrong. But what you're saying, Carey, is right in that if you're focused on it and you see that the kid is dropping to a knee, or, you know, when Jim Edmonds talks about collapsing the backside, yes. He's talking about basically dipping your shoulder,
to try to
collapsing in.
Yes, like he's trying to lift.
Like he's trying to hit it in the air.
And if the kid isn't grasping that, and it's a problem to the point where you're sending him down to the minors, well, that's on you because he has had success. So I understand both sides of this, Jamie, where it's like, hey, his launch angle's wrong. They're right. But if the kid is trying
then you're not teaching it correctly.
There you go.
What you're trying to teach is not the way you should. You're not explaining it well enough. I'm not telling you to drop a knee and dip your back shoulder so that you can actively hit the ball in the air. Right. That needs to be taught better, explained better. So we get a lot of, well, what do the coaches teach? There you go. Good question. Yeah. Because if other players are telling you, no, that's not how you hit home runs. This is how. Drive the baseball. Hit the ball squarely. You talk about barrel rate all the time. Hit the ball on the barrel, and it's probably going to go far, especially if you're swinging as hard as he is and as hard as he's hitting it.
So the one thing about Jordan Walker, with him being as tall as he is, as big as he is, I'm not a hitting coach, but I've listened to lots of people like you, Carey. And one guy in particular, Mark McGuire, had talked about being a big guy in the batter's box. And he was obviously a big guy. I think he was only 6'4", though. I think Jordan Walker's, 6'6"? I think there's 2-inch difference there. But he said as a big guy, the key is to get the barrel through the zone for the most extended period of time possible so that you can now make contact with the barrel of the ball and you swing through the ball. He talked about, we had Mark McGuire on, or Randy did a couple of years ago here on the station, and he talked about this exact topic, the launch angle. He says the moment you start to try and lift the ball as a bigger guy, he says two things are going to happen. One, you're so in your head, and you're going to start reaching for pitches that aren't hittable because you're trying to lift. Every pitch you're trying to lift. And what's happening with Jordan Walker this year? How many times is he whiffing to the low and outside? Because every pitch he's thinking, I got to lift. I got to launch this thing. So he's so in his head, he's like so excited to try and hit a ball that he's swinging at bad pitches. And then the second part of it is if you're trying to change the trajectory for launch angle when you're that big, it just doesn't work. The smaller guy can try to do that lift right away out of their stance, but when you're 6'6", you're just going to end up pounding that ball. Most of the time, you're going to foul him off because your launch angle is terrible, or you're just going to pop fly it.
Right.
So I don't know. I wish I would have asked Jimmy why coaches are teaching that or why they're demanding it. He may not have had the answer for that. It would maybe have been tough, or maybe they're teaching it in a way that the players aren't understanding. Like maybe they're asking for something, but the players are hearing it different, so it sounds like you need to lift. I don't know.
So far, since he's been down, he's got 17 hits in 14 games, 2 doubles, no triples, no home runs yet. He's batting .315. OPS is only .766, but again, he hasn't hit the ball out of the yard, but he is hitting the ball.
Yeah.
He wasn't hitting the ball here. And granted, maybe like Jim said, the level of pitching is much different here than there. You're going to not have guys that are going to throw you a changeup on 1-0 or 2-0. They'll do that in the major league. So it's changed in terms of the pitchers that he's facing and the pitches that he's facing, but he is at least making contact, and he's not hitting the ball necessarily over the fence. But he's hitting the ball.
Yeah.
You don't think base runners on this team would be an effective way to score runs?
Yeah.
Because I do.
And two, I mean, he's 21, so the power, you think the power will come eventually, especially with a kid that's
He already has it.
Yeah.
He's already beating the crap out of the ball.
Right.
Like, every time he hits it.
When I'm saying power, I mean
the home runs. I know.
So if he's hitting doubles, if he's constantly hitting doubles eventually, you would think, would eventually turn into home runs. All right, one more from Jim Edmonds. He talked about working with Goldschmidt recently, whether or not things are fixed.
Had him over to the house.
Had him over
to
the house,
too.
Yeah, he fixed it. To be honest with you, he came over to the house for a few days, and we talked and went over some things, just kind of give him a different angle of what I see versus what he's trying to deal with while he's at work with, their hitting coaches dealing with 25 guys. And so he doesn't get the chance to hit for hours and hours and hours. So we sat down and kind of talked about like a balance is so important and how he wasn't getting balance and he was trying to work on some things and his finish was a little weird. I said, don't worry about your finish. Keep your balance, stay back, and just try, work on just getting back to hitting the ball, basics again. And I think when you lose your balance, you really don't realize it because your feet, nobody looks down at your feet. Everyone looks at your hands and your body and see if you're doing certain things. But usually everything comes from your feet.
It's so true.
It's a great point.
It's so true.
Especially with the hands.
What? The balance. All that is so true.
Yeah.
The weight transfer, the balance. You know as well as I do, guys that get happy feet in the batter's box usually aren't successful just because their balance is never really established. But I know as a casual fan, I'm not looking at Paul Goldschmidt's feet. I'm looking at the upper body when he's swinging through and looking awkward, and I'm like, what is going on?
Right.
But now when Jimmy talks about that, it makes sense. If your balance is off, the upper body's going to look way off too.
It's not unlike football. I heard Travis Kelce say that one time. He said if your lower half, if your lower half is out of whack, everything's out of whack.
Everything starts from the ground up.
Yeah, so he starts like catching. You wouldn't think catching the football starts at the lower half, but he's right. You get two defenders on you. You're trying to outleap them. Are you strong in your base or not? So that I never thought of it that way, and certainly takes a Cardinals Hall of Famer to to talk about it, to say, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So great stuff from Jim Edmonds. If you want to listen to the podcast, we will have that full interview up at some point after the show right there at 101ESPN.com or your 101 ESPN mobile app. The podcast brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We got our biggest question of the day and Beat the Streak next on 101 ESPN.
I want to hit baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You ready to hit?
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
All right, time to play Beat the Streak here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Marsh, give us those updated standings, kid.
All right, so I'm in first place right now with a four-game hit streak. Carey is in second with a 3-game hit streak. Yes. Jamie and Hayden are tied with 2, and unfortunately, no, did not get a base hit for you last game, Anthony. Back to 0.
That's the last time I'll go with the Cardinal.
Settle.
I'm brutal when I choose a Cardinal.
Wow. Alrighty.
I'm much better when I take the other team.
Probably a good call. especially today.
All right, Marsh, go ahead.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah, you do.
But you're gonna
Say it.
I don't want to do it.
Say it.
You guys want to say it with me?
Tyler O'Neill.
Tyler O'Neill.
Yeah, Tyler O'Neill. Yeah, ton. All right, Marsh has got ton.
Screw him! I'm taking Alec Burleson.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Flipped it on
A pivot.
Thank you, Tanisha,
Interesting.
from the snake pit.
I mean, if you're
I
not
sneezed.
gonna. Oh yeah. Bless you.
Did you? Was that on air?
I said it as well. He didn't hear it.
Oh.
I hit the cough button, though.
Yeah.
Oh, it's much better.
I still see me.
I was wondering what that big gust of wind was.
Yeah, that was me.
Coming out of that thing.
Is that what
Okay,
went
Carey.
through?
I have one too. You see how it works?
So I don't take offense.
Yeah.
Is that what that weather was this past week?
Oh, yeah. It's my allergies.
Carey, go ahead.
You all know how I feel about my Redbirds. Wanting to win every game.
Yeah, so you go with the Red Sox.
I am. Give me Rafael Devers.
Makes sense.
Scumbag.
All right, Jamie.
Are you kidding me? After just finding out that Paul Goldschmidt was at Jimmy Ballgame's house working his game out? No way I'm not going with Paul Goldschmidt. Let's go, Goldie.
All right, Hayden.
I was going to take Burley because he's 5 for his last 9 and hitting 300 against right-handed pitching, but guess I'm going to go Ivan Herrera.
All right. You know, after listening to you guys, I was going to go with a Red Sox, but I'm not. I'm going to go with a Red Sox. Give me Duran. Duran.
Nobody going with Tyler O'Neill. Wow.
That's surprising.
Too much pressure. Go 3 for 3.
We know how he has performed at Busch Stadium.
He's going to hit a home run.
It's not turf, though.
That's true.
Usually, I would say if I had to make a prediction, tonight he is whatever. I think if he's going to do damage, he'll do it tomorrow.
Why is that?
That's just
how you're thinking.
That's just how I'm thinking.
Okay.
All right. Maybe he'll do it all 3 games.
Oh, Carey. You're probably right.
All right, Hayden, good luck to you, man.
Sounds good.
All right, there you go. That is Beat the Streak. Now it's time for the biggest question of the day.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
So I can't remember what the show used to be called or even what network it was on, but I remember there was a network that once did a you can't blame, and then they gave a certain sports scenario. So you can't blame the Falcons for trading Brett Favre, or you can't trade the whoever for, not re-signing. So I thought this would be kind of fun. You can't blame the Cardinals for trading Tyler O'Neill. Now, there's other scenarios we'll throw out, but we'll just start with Tyler O'Neill because I actually think this one is an easy one. So if you're going to defend the Cardinals, right, you can't blame the Cardinals for trading Tyler O'Neill. My thing would be because of his durability. He just wasn't healthy. It's not like they didn't know what they had. It's not like they let him rot on the bench. It's not like they were sending him back and forth to Memphis. They wanted him to start. They wanted him to be the everyday left fielder or center fielder or right fielder. It just didn't work out because you couldn't stay healthy. So you can't really blame the Cardinals for that. Do you guys have a different viewpoint on that?
I just think you can't blame the Cardinals for trading Tyler O'Neill just because I feel like the relationship had soured.
Yeah.
So along with his inability to stay healthy, sometimes, Carey, as you know, like that creates separation from the player to the team because you're not always around, you're injured, you're certainly not there every day.
Right.
And then when he was healthy, then there was the effort issues or question marks. So that doesn't look good when you got a player who's injured frequently. Now he's not putting the effort. Then he's talking about being more durable just because he's not max effort. A little bit of, headbutting in the clubhouse. I just think the relationship had soured and it was time to move on. It's kind of like just a bad relationship in life, whether it's a friend or with a girlfriend or whatever. Like you just know when, like you don't necessarily want to be around that person anymore.
Right.
And I think that for this scenario, I think the Cardinals were just like, we're good not having Tyler O'Neill on this team anymore.
Yeah.
We did get a text from from Thanks Dad. Top 5 reasons you can't blame on ESPN.
There we go.
ESPN
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad.
Top 5 reasons.
It's your lifeline.
Yeah. Nice job. Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm with you. You can't blame him. I think, the injuries in itself were enough to just say, okay, it's time to go in a different direction. They gave him plenty of opportunities. Last year, coming off the IL, he came off and was hot. Did a really good job. And then he had the issue where he didn't want to play in, was it Tampa? Or where were they playing where he said his knees were going to hurt? Yeah, he didn't want to play on the AstroTurf. And so you kind of, at that point, you're like, come on, man. Come on, man. I'm a quarterback. Like, you start to, at that point, you're like, okay, it's time to go in a different direction.
Yeah.
Again, extremely talented.
We're done here.
Yeah, we're done here. Extremely talented. You know that this was a possibility. You knew that this was a possibility. Him going elsewhere and having great success. We joked about it. He's going to be a top 5 MVP candidate. He's hitting the ball really well. Mm-hmm. And minus the time, now I think in May he's batting like 152, but he's might be the do factor.
Yeah.
But it's been really good for him this season overall. Can't be upset about what the Cardinals did. And you can't be upset at him for doing what we knew he was capable of doing.
All right, I'll give you guys a challenge here.
Oh gosh.
Top reason, so we won't do 5. Top reason you can't blame the Cardinals for trading Jordan Hicks.
I don't have a reason.
You got to play.
I don't want to.
Carey.
There's no reason. Did you not know that this young man could be the starting damn pitcher? Did you not know that he could throw more than gas up there? Did you not know that you could teach him multiple things to do on the mound and give him an opportunity to not just throw 105 miles per hour in the 7th inning? Hey, go out there. You're a 7th inning guy. Get one for us. What the hell am I excited about? I am a starter, sir, or a closer, sir. Not this middle reliever, late inning guy. No. That's who I am. I do blame them. There's blame to go around. Talking to you, Mo. Yeah. Damn. Talking to all of them.
Heads up, Mo.
The hell are y'all doing? What are y'all watching? The hell were your eyes at? Your antennas. You just wasn't paying attention? You didn't know he was here? Clearly you didn't. We got to go outside the organization and find a few people to help the starting rotation, and we'll make sure that we get that settled. And what about Jordan Hicks? What about him? No, he won't be here. We'll send him on his way. You can get out of here, Jordan. We don't need you anymore.
This is incredible.
What the hell are they doing? I do blame them. What do you mean?
You know who you sounded like? You sounded like every black comedian doing the white guy.
There you go.
You never notice?
Why y'all got to go to the same voice?
Every black comedian does the same white guy voice.
Yeah, that's how it sounds to us. I'm sorry.
The Dave Chappelle skit when he's at the grocery store.
Yeah.
That's how it sounds. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yep.
Well,
Dave?
I don't blame the Cardinals for walking away on Jordan Hicks or trading him, because they were just going off of their own inability to see the talent in him. Mm-hmm. So they walked away / traded him because they didn't know what they had, which is their fault.
Yes, indeed.
It's 100% their fault. But based on what they had for their information was, he's a 2-pitch guy. He's not a closer. We're not sure. He's not a rotation guy. We'll be fine without this guy. Yeah. That's literally how the meeting probably went. And obviously they were 100% wrong, but I can't blame them for moving on from what they didn't know, and what they didn't know is their fault.
You don't blame them for not knowing?
No, I just said that.
Oh, you don't blame them.
I don't blame them for not knowing or for moving on.
Oh.
I do blame them for not knowing what they had, Carey.
I say, what the hell? Yeah, I'd blame you.
Sometimes you don't know what you have till it's gone, Carey.
This is true. This is true.
And then sometimes you realize now that they're gone, it's better. I mean, just random, of course. It's just random.
Sometimes you do realize it.
Yep.
Sometimes you
don't,
don't.
Carey.
Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're sitting there.
Yeah, sometimes it takes you a while, too.
Yep. I think the Cardinals may be having a little remorse right now. We're talking about the Cardinals.
Yeah, not me.
No, Jamie's not. Fade or follow up at the board. 3 stars of the day next on 101 ESPN. Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, head out there right now because their hailstorm, the recent hailstorm, it's forcing them to have a huge vehicle sales event. So at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, you're going to find 500 used cars and 200 new Nissans, all discounted thousands for immediate release. So get off the couch, or if you're driving home right now, do what you got to do to get down to Herculaneum. If you're looking for a new ride, they have discounts at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum up to $20,000 off retail value. They need to make room for some more cars coming in. They've drastically discounted all the hailstorm cars for immediate sale. So go out there. Lenders are on site for immediate financing and delivery. Don't miss the largest sales and discount in Auto Centers Nissan history. Head out to Herculaneum. Tell them Stalter sent you. They've got financing options for everyone. And again, discounts up to $20,000 off retail value on 500 used vehicles and 200 new Nissans. All discounted, thousands for immediate release. It's AutoCentersNissan.com and Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals take on the Red Sox tonight. Kyle Gibson takes the mound. 7:15 first pitch. We talked earlier today with Cardinal Hall of Famer Jim Edmonds. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. You'll find all of our interviews and full shows there, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Tonight on 101 ESPN, we'll have the Bruins and Panthers Game 6 with the pregame starting at 5:30. Coming up next, we have Fade or Follow, Bet the Board, and our 3 stars of the day. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for FanDuel Fade or Follow on the Fast Lane.
Brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more.
Everyone follow us.
No fade, no fade.
Money, 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 money.
Our guy Chase already has the record. Now he's going for a new record in Fade or Follow. What's up, Chase?
What's going on, Anthony?
Hey, man. Because you're rolling right now in FanDuel's dough. Nice job.
I'm just following the guys.
You're following us, and we're just following the Battlehawks. But we got something different for you tonight.
Uh-oh.
We're going to go with the Battlehawks minus 7.5. Would you like to fade us or follow us when they take on the DC Defenders this weekend?
On the count of three, we're all going to say it together. 1, 2, 3,
follow. Nice. Boom. Man, that never works out if you didn't pre-work, if you didn't, practice it beforehand.
What if he goes fade? Then he's like,
Can't talk out there about it.
Yeah. Chase, nice job, man. Congrats on the FanDuel winnings thus far, and hopefully the Battlehawks throttle DC, and you get yourself another $50 of FanDuel's money.
Absolutely. Let's do it. I'll talk to you guys next Friday.
Nice. All right, Chase. Have a great weekend.
All right. Bye.
See ya. I like Chase.
Confidence. He says last
He's
week
done the same thing every time.
Hey, I gotta say it. I gotta say that.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to you guys next week.
And he reset it. We did it again.
Superstitious.
It's confident.
I like it, man.
I like it too.
All right. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com, your 101 ESPN mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Time to bet the board.
Where we at? What we got, Marshy?
So Anthony and I are tied at 7-5. Carey, you're moving your way up the leaderboard. Well, not really. Your record is getting better. You're 5-7. Jamie's now 3-9.
Yeah.
Got a dub last night, huh, Jamie?
Lots of time left, Anthony.
There you go. Doing all right.
How you holding up over there, buddy?
I'm good. Okay. I'm fine. It's just we're going to tweak.
You started out like hot.
Yeah.
7-0.
6-0.
6-0.
Yeah, then dropped 3 straight.
Okay.
Picked up a dub, and now it's just it's been a little bit of a slog.
It's a rough patch.
Yeah, but Jen, who drafted me, she's still all in.
Yeah,
we're good. We're fine. Everything's fine here.
Okay.
Yeah,
keep saying it. You're right.
Gabe. Marsh, go ahead.
No, Anthony, you can go ahead.
All right. I'm taking a look at these odds real quick, making sure I'm within the rules here. I'm going to take, so last night I actually, if you remember, I wanted the Mets team total over. Game had already started. They're already up 1-0 in the first inning. Yeah, they scored a lot of runs last night, so the A's did not. I'm going to go back to the well. Give me the Mets over 3.5 runs, minus 136. Mets over 3.5 runs tonight. They're taking on the Miami Marlins.
All right, I'm looking at Zach Wheeler over 6.5 strikeouts tonight against the Washington Nationals. Give me Zach Wheeler at least 7 strikeouts.
All right.
I'm going to take the Knicks +5 versus the...
They're getting 5 against the Pacers?
Yeah.
The NYK +5. I wrote it down.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll take it. They're in Indiana, so maybe that's part of it.
Don't care.
Me either.
Wow.
I think they're going to win the game.
I think you're right.
Yep.
Jamie.
All right. Mulling over 2 options. My heart wants me to take the Panthers over the Bruins. They're at minus 146. But my brain has me taking the Dallas Stars over the Avalanche at minus 105.
All right.
Stars over the Avs.
Okay.
Close out the series.
There you go. There's bet the board. Marsh, what do we got for criticisms and compliments today?
Yeah, the Snake Pit's wondering what we're doing this weekend.
Killian's got a baseball game tomorrow.
We got the playoffs for junior Bulldogs.
Oh, nice.
Middle school flag football team.
Go get them.
Yeah.
Nice. Ashley's little guy has lacrosse playoffs this weekend.
Okay.
So we're doing
playoffs
that.
here.
Yeah.
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Just want to win the game.
Marsh going to the game tonight. Cardinals game tonight.
Going to the game tonight. Tomorrow.
Rained on.
I have no idea what I'm doing tomorrow. I think I might go golfing.
Ooh, really?
Oh, you and Jackson?
I should text him. I should text Jackson.
Piddles is always up for a game of golf.
Yeah, he is.
But then I'm going to the Cardinal game again on Sunday.
Wow.
This guy.
Look at you. We'll bring us home the winner.
Birds.
I'll try and bring home 2.
Yeah, if not, we'll blame you.
Come on, don't put that much
Very
pressure
fair.
on Marshy. Just
Very
one
fair.
winner. One of the 2 would be great.
No. How about all 3?
Oh, now, the other guys said they're going to get swept for 9 games straight. Remember, you're all mad.
I actually said, I don't think I said they were going to lose all 9.
You did. You said they could lose all 9.
I think you said 6 of 9, yeah.
Then he got even more angry.
Yeah.
Because I heard it again today. They played it on BK.
I heard it too, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, they might lose all 9. You were all mad, Carey. You're trying to find the red glasses and break them. We had to get them away from you.
This team is doing things to me that I don't like.
I don't blame you.
So would it be would it be my fault if they lose, or would it be Anthony's if he's not wearing his underwear?
Oh, he's
got them on.
Yeah,
he's got them on.
He's got to wear them all weekend, though.
He's got that.
That's fine.
That high cut looks like he's on the Bulgarian diving team.
True story. I once tried out for them.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
They cut me.
They didn't think the cannonball was a good choice.
No, they didn't.
No.
Yeah.
I thought it was swell.
Thanks, man.
Anthony, you're supposed to swim into the water, not into the wall.
Right. That was their biggest issue. Yeah. All right.
Anthony dove the wrong way.
I did. I totally
Explains
did.
a lot.
Yeah.
We're going to text from 636.
Hard to do, but I did it.
Let's go Reed and Parkway West.
Yeah.
Wow. Somebody knows who it is. I just said Ashley's little guy. I didn't even say Reed.
Oh, there you go. Somebody knows
Reed.
you.
Oh, yeah. Let's go, Reed. Yeah, Parkway West and Lou Fuse. We got both teams are in the playoffs this weekend.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll get them.
Text from the 314. Actually, this is Justin. Great show again, guys. Killed it again.
Thank you, Justin.
Appreciate it.
Have a great weekend.
So we did get a text about Anthony. Now, when Anthony gets upset, it's called Ranthony. You turn into Ranthony.
Yes.
Now, we just saw CD get very heated. What is the name for when Carey gets upset?
No.
Is it Carry On?
Is it Danger Davis?
Carry on my wayward son. You're welcome, by the way.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Very nice. Good voice.
Thank you.
Carry on.
I don't know if it's-
carry on.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Carry on.
And just let you go and foam at the mouth.
There you go.
Yeah. I think that, you know what, it's a we're workshopping it, but I think it's that's
I
good.
like Danger Davis.
I actually am not opposed to that either.
Danger
Oh,
Davis.
the text came from someone whose son is on Reed's team. So good luck back to you, too. I'll see you at the lacrosse field.
All right, let's get into our 3 stars of the day before we head out of here. Of course, we're off early.
I don't know why that was funny.
Our 3rd star of the day goes to a gentleman who
Scary
started-
Carey's pretty good, too.
Scary Carey.
Yes.
You don't like that, though.
They got carried away.
Carried away with the spelling. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3rd star will be a guy that started the day behind bars. That goes to Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, yeah. And he shot 5 under, I think, for the
Yes.
day.
Yeah.
5 under. 2nd star of the day goes to Jimmy Ballgame for joining the show and
He was
providing
fantastic.
some great
Thank
insight.
you, Jimmy.
Yes.
Hope the little guy had a great at-bat, too.
I did too.
And our 1st star of the day obviously goes to Carry On, Danger Davis, and Scary Carey.
Nice.
Carey Davis's impersonation
Alter
is John
egos.
Mosaic.
Yeah. Excellent.
Slightly psychotic, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. It was real good. All right. That'll do it for us. We do have the Bruins and Panthers pregame starting right here in 5 minutes at 5:30. You'll be able to hear the pregame of the Bruins and the Panthers. We're going to carry Game 6 as well. Going to be a fun time, outstanding game, that's for sure. Hopefully our guy Matthew Tkachuk can get it done.
Close it out, baby.
All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Thanks for listening. For Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. See you.